This is Matt Diaz, kicker.
This is Taylor Beal, linebacker.
This is Jordan Oldroyd, quarterback.
This is RJ Moreno, running back.
This is Corey Cole.
All along, Brad Tillery alongside the LT Kelly Duvall. Down on the field, the captain, Dave England. He'll join us here in just a little bit as it is a cold one and a windy one here at the stadium tonight. And Kelly, Georgetown's coming off a big win last week against Pflugerville, kind of got back on the right track, breaking the 3-game losing streak, 35-12 last week. Now tonight they get to come home for, really in many ways, it's a must-win against Manor as you start looking into these final 3 weeks in the playoff push.
This is a huge game in Division II, District 5. Hang on. 5A, Division II, District 11, because this game goes a long way to the final two seedings. Of course, the big boys in the district, Cedar Park and Hutto, are the ones that are slugging it out for the district championship. But those third and fourth spots are wide open right now. Tonight's going to go a long way to determining who's going to fill those positions and in what order they're going to fill them. So from a playoff pairing standpoint, you really want that third position if you can grab it. And this is an opportunity for the Eagles tonight to try to overcome a pretty good Manor football team, very good with the running game, and try to take command of that third-place position. You lose tonight, whichever team loses tonight, you can't have another stumble in district and still get to the playoffs. So, huge game tonight in District 11. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Let's talk about those district standings real quick. Cedar Park and Manor both undefeated so far in district. Cedar Park 4-0, Manor 3-0. Hutto is 2-1 right now in district, and then Georgetown 1-2 in fourth place. Connolly, Pflugerville, and Rouse rounded out 1-3, 1-3, 0-3 in district play to fill out what we have right now. But, you know, we talked about Manor being undefeated so far in district play. Their hardest 3 games, arguably, will finish district play for them. They are here tonight at Georgetown. Then they go home next week to take on Hutto, and then they go on the road to play Cedar Park. Whereas Georgetown conceivably gets the easier part of the schedule in the back half of the schedule after tonight, having already played Hutto and Cedar Park. Georgetown's going to get to play at Rouse and then Conley during the final 2 weeks.
Well, and another issue for the Eagles is we had our bye week before district started. So there's no bye week during district play for our players to get healthy that are dinged up a little bit. And now this point in the season, almost everybody's dinged up, everybody's sore. So now it's a battle of attrition to see who's going to last the longest in that. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the district unfolds now as we go forward with these last 3 weeks of the season. It's going to be an exciting time. Should be some good ball games.
Well, and it was this game last year,
right,
a 28-14 victory for Georgetown that gave the Eagles the third-place spot in the district and avoided that 1-4 matchup and instead went to play Seguin and won a game down in Seguin.
And that's another issue is that third spot's crucial because you wind up in the fourth spot, you're going to be playing a big boy in the first round of the playoffs more than likely. I guess what, LBJ or somebody?
Well, Dripping Springs and Seguin are tied for the district lead right now over in District 12, but they play tonight.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. So you're looking at playing Dripping Springs or Seguin or LBJ, Austin, all well known for their programs, all really good football programs. And I'm not saying any game in the playoffs is a cakewalk, but if you can get that third position, it makes a radical difference.
That 2-3 matchup is much more susceptible to an upset than that 1-4 matchup. So, of course, last year that District 12, 3 teams tied for the first place in the district, but Georgetown on tiebreakers ended up playing Seguin, went down there, of course, and won, going 3 weeks into the postseason. And this is kind of that march. This was the stretch last year. Remember, Georgetown started this same way last season, 3-0, lost three straight to Stephenville, Hutto, and Cedar Park in that order, and then finished off the season with 4 straight before going on that big playoff run. So looking to duplicate it here.
Well, and this team is so similar in position to what happened last year, like you were talking about, because 2018 there was a ton of talent on 2017-2018 season. There was a ton of talent on the team. We lost Caden Leggett from that team and several other really big performers on that team. So coming into the 2018-2019 season, last season, it was really an unknown. And they made a deep run into the playoffs that was kind of unexpected for a lot of people. And we're in the same position this year because we wound up with identical records after the first 2 games of district. And now we're looking at a situation where it's been a relatively unknown team. We've got a young sophomore quarterback starting now, and it's who knows what's going to happen.
Well, Georgetown will try to build off the win last week, 35-12 at Pflugerville. Ryan Eady, a big night last week, 195 yards and a score on the ground.
I'm excited to watch Ryan run the football tonight. It's funny because during the week I talked to his dad. I'm friends with his dad, Greg Eady, one of our sponsors, Extraco Bank. Greg works over there with Extraco. And talking to his dad, it's been fun to watch. You know, halfway knowing the kid, watching him grow up from the time he was little bitty, it's fun to see that. But Ryan has really developed into a good, strong, hard, solid runner, runs with a great determination, keeps those pads low, keeps those legs driving, and gets yards sometimes when it appears nothing's there.
This Manor football team's won 5 in a row. They're led by their big defensive end, Princely Umama-Yellen, and he is a 4-star recruit, being recruited by just about everybody in the country, really considering last we looked Oklahoma, Auburn, Texas A&M. He was a Texas commit until recently, but a guy on the defensive line you have to watch out for against this Manor or for this Manor team.
Right, and the Eagles are going to absolutely know where he is. I would suspect they're going to stay away from him or double and triple team him out there, maybe 2 linemen and a running back coming out to chip him if they're going to try to run to his side. But he's a big force on that Manor side of the football on defense, and he's one of those guys you got to know where he's at on the football field.
Folks, we're going to step aside for a second. When we come back, we'll send it down to the field to Mr. Dave England. He's got the head coach, Chuck Griffin, for a little pregame chat. After that, we'll continue to set this ball game up. It's a cold, windy night in Central Texas, but it's a beautiful evening for football. The Georgetown Eagles taking on the Manor Mustangs in a pivotal 5A district. I'm sorry, folks, I'm laughing because the chute and tunnel, the inflatable that Georgetown runs out of, is now flying across the stadium into the other stands, basically, right now on the other end of the stadium. So that'll give you an idea of what kind of wind we're dealing with here tonight. Back in just a minute with Dave England and head coach Chuck Griffin. This is Georgetown Football on SHN Sports.
Program Insurance Group is designed to fit your insurance needs. We will help you manage and plan for all your potential risks. As professionals, we assess your needs and offer you a variety of insurance products to choose from. Service, whether it is in response to an insurance claim or general question, is the most important value we offer you. For more information, please visit pigbcs.com.
And now, your hometown Fighting Tigers! Is this what you hear at your school's athletic events? Has school spirit disappeared from your halls? Well, Waterboy Graphics can't fix the depth along the offensive line, but what they can do is give the look of your athletic facilities a boost that will bring the pride back to students, teachers, and fans. Replace the fading 80s mural in the gym with a customized slick series of graphics that scream school pride. In the locker room before the big game on a Friday, surround the team with images of what it means to be a part of that elite team. From the fields to the courts to the hallways, Waterboy Graphics elevates boring facilities to a level that are typical to major universities. We can put graphics on anything. From creative concept to installation, Waterboy Graphics' in-house team is on point. So the next time this happens, and now, your hometown Fighting Tigers! This happens. Waterboy Graphics, making school pride cool again. See everything we do at waterboygraphics.com. That's waterboygraphics.com.
Kelly, we're here with Coach Griffin, pregame. Coach, what did you see this week in film that y'all worked on for this Manor game?
Yeah, we just worked on the Georgetown Eagles, making sure that we can run the football and try to stop their run. That's the big deal tonight. I think if we do those things, we can be in pretty good shape.
How about the weather tonight? We've got some about 20 mile an hour sustained winds tonight. What is that going to do to the kicking game and passing game, do you think?
Well, we'll see. We made a little
Sorry about that, folks. A little technical issue as we have the pregame interview up here with head coach Chuck Griffin. We'll try to get it back up and running from where we left it. Let's see if we have it. If not, we'll send it down here in a second. We'll try it one more time.
Yeah, we just worked on the Georgetown Eagles, making sure that we can run the football and try to stop their run. That's the big deal tonight. I think if we do those things, we can be in pretty good shape.
How about the weather tonight? We've got some about 20 mile an hour sustained winds tonight. What is that going to do to the kicking game and passing game, do you think?
Well, we'll see. We made a little decision that it's a little unorthodox, but we chose to win the first half, so we'll see how that works.
Outstanding. Good luck, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to step aside. Thanks so much down there, Dave, for your pregame interview. We're going to listen to a few more of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue to set this ball game up as Georgetown's about to take the field, and so is Manor. 3:30 or so away from kickoff. The Georgetown Eagles taking on the Manor Mustangs here at Birkelbach Field tonight. A big District 11 game for the Eagles as they try to jockey for playoff position and really help try to secure one of those playoff spots as we run into the last few weeks of the football season here. Back in just a minute. This is Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports.
Royce Electric is a proud supporter of the Georgetown Eagles. Royce Electric also wishes Kaylee Biondo a great year. Go Eagles! Royce Electric, Harker Heights, Texas. Locally owned by Pam and Al Bartschmid, College Street Cottages is proud to offer vacation rentals in beautiful and historic Georgetown, Texas. With premium amenities and comfortably sized spaces, our cottages provide the best accommodations that Georgetown has to offer. All of the remodeled 1940s cottages include complete use of the entire house and yard, fenced backyard with seating, eating area, and a barbecue grill, convenient parking in front, and detached garages. Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, Extraco delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. Tell us your dreams at extracobanks.com. Extraco Banks is a member FDIC.
Back here in Georgetown as the Eagles bust through the paper and take the field to the delight of the home crowd. We will send it down to the sidelines as well to the captain, Mr. Dave England. Doppler Dave, you got the weather down there tonight. It's a cold, windy one, it looks like, from the warmth of the booth. You get to settle in for it down there, bud.
Right, it is. You got me there?
I got you, bud. Go ahead.
All right, it is a little breezy down here. The winds are about 17 miles an hour, and they feel like they're gusting to about 30. Currently it's 49 degrees, a few clouds passing by. It feels like 43 with that wind chill. So it's cold and a lot of wind down here. Everybody's bundled up in the stadium. I see a lot of blankets and hoodies tonight.
So, Dave, we actually can see from up here in the north end zone, the goalposts are actually coming a little bit forward from down there. How do you think it's going to affect the field of play down there tonight?
It actually looks like it's leaning to the visitor side a little bit from my angle.
Yeah.
That wind, it was leaning last game. I don't know if it was a Southwestern game or the last game we were here, but I noticed it was leaning as well.
Yeah.
So I hope they're not going to have any problems with that. But you can see those flags are definitely whipping, and it's not really coming true north out of the stadium. It's cutting across a little bit out of the northwest. So it should be interesting. I don't know there's going to be much of a kicking game tonight. And we have to be really careful. You
were talking up here in the booth before the game with myself and Kelly about last year's game between these two teams. Your thoughts between last year and how Georgetown can adjust coming into tonight with a new quarterback?
Yes, we had a mobile quarterback, if everybody remembers, with Jackson Siosen last year. We have a mobile quarterback again this year with Darson Herman. And Jackson had 2 touchdowns on the ground, and then R.J. Marino had 2 touchdowns on the ground last year, accounting for our 28 points. And I just have a feeling there's not going to be a lot of passing the ball around. If you're going into that wind tonight, they're going to have to be really careful. This game could go really fast. It could be a lot of defense on this game, a lot of tackles. Our defense, as y'all know, is playing lights out this year. Taylor Beal accounting for a lot of tackles. Also something to note is Matt Anderson had a breakout game last year with 10 tackles. He led the team last year in tackles against Manor. So we've got a lot of returning seniors that have seen this Manor speed last year and are familiar with this team and what they can do. So I think we're prepared, and our guys are always well coached.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. We'll hear from you more on tonight as the game goes along. As we kick it back up here in the booth, the coin toss happening right now, the ceremonial coin toss on the field. As not sure how many folks in Texas know about high school football, but the coin toss actually happens, Kelly, pregame.
Right.
This is just the ceremonial aspect of it all.
This is the announcement of it. Going with what Dave was saying a little bit earlier, we really need to focus tonight on those big boys up front, Connor Heffernan, Alex Steele, Brian Hargrove, the offensive linemen that are going to be down there, because tonight, although their job is always important, our running game is going to be crucial, and those big guys are going to have to move those guys off the line tonight, as are the defensive linemen going to have to control that point of attack all night long. for Georgetown to take this game tonight. So it's going to be really interesting to see both lines for both teams and see how well they perform tonight.
This is going to be the game that's won in the trenches tonight with the way the weather is and kind of taking the passing game completely out of it as the flags are being presented and walked out towards midfield. Folks, when we talk about it's windy, it's cold, if you're not living here in the state of Texas, you're joining us from elsewhere, it's blowing consistently above 20 miles an hour right now out there. The flags are straight out. It's about as cold, and it's about 50 degrees and dropping as well. We're going to step aside for the national anthem back in just a minute with kickoff of tonight's game.
Sung by members of the Georgetown High School Choir under the direction of Joey Lawrence and Stacy Brandenberger.
Well, a beautiful job on the anthem down on the field as the crowd continues to file in, and we are getting set for football tonight. Brad Tillery, Kelly Duvall up here in the booth, Dave England down on the sidelines for you tonight as we bring you this big District 11 ball game here in 5A Division I between Georgetown and Manor. We talked about it already here in pregame. This is the game last year that decided the 3rd and 4th spots when it comes to playoff seeding, and the way the season's breaking out, it could very well do the same tonight. Now, Georgetown's still got a couple of games in front of them with Rouse and Connolly, and we mentioned it earlier, you and I off air. That Connolly game's looking a lot more interesting than maybe we thought it would at the beginning of the season.
I said in that conversation, we can't take Rouse for granted. We can't take Connolly for sure for granted. So there is a definite battle for the 3rd and 4th spots in this district going on, and it really gets heated up this week.
Well, and we talk about not taking Rouse for granted. Sure, Rouse having a pretty rough year. They played this Manor team to a 2-point game just a few weeks ago.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying you can't take anybody for granted. If you could, they wouldn't play the games. They just call it like it is. But when you tee it up every week, you never know what's going to happen.
The Mustangs coming off a 50-35 last week over Connolly. We talked about Connolly in the standings. They are 1-3 in district play, but of course they still get a game with Georgetown. So Connolly with a chance to maybe work their way into that playoff conversation as well. So for Georgetown, they control their own destiny from here on out for that 3rd spot for sure. But a win tonight goes a long way when you talk about playoffs and seeding the rest of the year.
It does. And, of course, controlling your own destiny does give you some advantages, but there are no weeks off. You can't take any weeks off. You can't take any opponents for granted. So I'm excited to get this game going tonight and see this match between the Eagles and the Mustangs.
The Georgetown Eagles will kick it away tonight, moving left to right as you listen. They will be kicking with the wind. You heard Coach Griffin say they kind of did an unusual thing with the toss and actually took the wind with the opening kick as opposed to kicking into it and saving the wind for the second quarter.
Most coaches will take that wind in the second quarter because both teams spend that first quarter trying to get acclimated to the game itself, to what's working, what's not working, and then really bust out the game plan in the second quarter. Well, tonight the coach obviously has some plans to have that win and try to jump out early on this Mustang team.
Georgetown Eagles wearing their traditional blue uniforms with the white numerals, the silver helmets, and the silver breeches as well. As for the Manor Mustangs, they're wearing the road white unis with the red numerals trimmed out in black. They've got black pants, red helmets, and white face masks as we get set to kick this ball off here tonight. Kicking away for Georgetown will be number 16.
Mustangs, number 6.
Not on the roster. I apologize.
Yeah, he was like, Dave, you remember his name from last week?
You are open, Dave. We'll figure it out. A little short kick. Georgetown's trying an onside kick. They've got a man there at the 50, and it misses by about a foot. Manor will pick it up and go the other way at the 25-20. It's an opening touchdown for the Manor Mustangs. Taking it all the way back is James McDonald after Georgetown tried an onside kick that was literally inches from going just far enough.
What a heads-up play. There's a flag down.
I think it's going to be offsides on Georgetown where the flag is the other way.
Oh.
Wow.
Touchdown is good. After the play, we have a sideline warning against Manor.
Well, there's your answer. The touchdown
Wow.
is good. Manor takes the opening kick, 50 yards, 49 yards and 2/3 there. I have never seen that on an opening kick.
If that ball goes 3 inches farther, Georgetown gets the ball.
You know,
And Stephenville did an onside kick against us to start the game and surprised us. We absolutely caught Manor by surprise, but their guy was, what a heads-up play by him to pick that ball up and go score.
and when you've got the wind at your back, why don't you kick it out of the end zone?
Extra point here for Manor as they score quickly, just 4 seconds into the game. Yael Sanchez to kick it away. It is up. It stiffens into the wind, but it is good. And your score, 4 seconds into the football game tonight here at Birkelbach Field, the Manor Mustangs lead it 7-0.
Absolutely stunning way to start this game. The kick team for Georgetown was offsides on that, but that's a stunning blow right there because now you're behind the 8 ball 4 seconds into the game.
We tried to describe it. You're right. Literally 3 more inches.
Yeah.
Georgetown was surrounding the football right at the 50, just waiting for it to come, and it died.
I was kind of expecting the referees to maybe blow the ball dead since there was no movement, no attempt to recover it. But, again, a heads-up play by the Manor Mustangs to pick that ball up and go score. And the guy that picked it up wasn't exactly a speed demon, but just so close to a totally different outcome. I like the call. I like it. I like taking some chances, adding a spark, but that's not really how you want this to play out.
Well, the Manor Mustangs will kick it away with a 7-0 lead here, 11:56 to go in the opening quarter. After the crazy start to the game, Sanchez kicking it into the wind. We saw the extra point, by the way. That ball just hung up as soon as it crossed over the crossbar there.
It absolutely died.
So Georgetown's got guys back at the 10, but I don't know that the ball can even go that far tonight. There's a low line drive, ball hanging up in the wind. It's going to be fielded at the 20. It is drop balls on the ground. There's a pile up at the 26. We'll see who's got it. It'll be Georgetown football. The Eagles fell back on top of it.
You saw that being really dangerous because the kick return man comes running up, had a 15-yard sprint at the ball, and it's hard to catch one of those kicks running dead speed.
Guys, this needs to be old school smash mouth football tonight. Keep it on the ground, and you've got to respect that wind.
Well, Georgetown and Darson Herman will take the field for the first time on offense, sending a man in motion. Herman to throw, a little bubble screen near side. It's caught. Convoy of blockers out in front of Brandon Bradford, and he'll get out to the 32. Nice first down play for Georgetown.
Tyreek Marshall was able to bring him down, but good 5-6 yard gain on first down for the Eagles, and that's how you want to start.
2nd and 4 for Georgetown. Trips right. They will fake the throw. Herman now taking off. It's across the 30 to the sideline at the 35, out of bounds at the 36. It's a first down. Georgetown tried to do a little trick play there. They sent the lineman who was covered up, so he wasn't an actual receiver, Connor Heffernan, as a decoy looking for a shot down the middle.
Well, and if he throws it backwards, then anybody can be out there and catch it. We saw that with Texas 2 weeks ago against West Virginia. They ran a play really similar to that.
4 wide for the Eagles as Herman's in the shotgun. Fithian in motion. Fake handoff, Herman over the left side, cuts up at the 40 to the 45-yard line. Officially mark him down at the 44. That's a gain of 8 on first down for Darson Herman.
Devin Lemire came in and put Darson on the ground, but you see the strength of Darson Herman right there and his ability to run that football. Big kid, 6'3", 215, sophomore quarterback. Is doing a great job of running this offense on this
ball
first
right
drive.
Between the hash marks, trips left. Herman looking to pass. Will throw down the sideline. He's got a man. It is caught at the 35. First down for Georgetown, deep into Manor territory. Now they're going to say he dropped it.
Well,
no catch for Georgetown. I believe that was intended for Bradford.
Tough catch because he had to extend the arms up and come down with the arms still extended, so it's hard to hang on to the football. It takes a great deal of strength, but I like the call. Second down and short.
That was the junior Brandon Bradford who went up for it, just couldn't come down with it. It is 3rd and 2, though. Good time to take a shot, though, right around midfield there on second down. Georgetown shifting to a heavy set on the left side, confusing the Manor defense. There's a handoff, and Edie will be stuffed at the 45.
There's that boy Princely, the guy we're going to keep an eye on, and you saw his speed and backside pursuit on that play right there.
Umamelian is how you pronounce his last name, Princely Umamelian. We had to ask that one 3 different times in pregame to make sure we got the pronunciation right, but it's 4th and 1, Georgetown.
I'm going with Princely.
At the 45. Georgetown back to punt. Snap is good. It's a low end-over-end kick that will bounce out of bounds. And we'll see where they officially mark it. The ball actually kind of flew out. Umpire still running the ball up the field, and it looks like he's going to mark it at the 37-yard line, so that's where the Manor Mustangs will take over.
Well, now we see, like we said, they're up against the wall already 4 seconds into the football game, so this really needs to be a big stop for the Eagles here. You go down 14 against Manor, it's going to be hard to come back with this win.
Well, Manor puts their offense on the field, split back to the backfield. They lead at 7-0. And there's a handoff over the left side. Going over is Taj Brooks down the sideline. He's got room to the 40 inside Georgetown territory before he's pushed out of bounds. A big first down run, but a flag down in the backfield for Manor. We'll see if it comes all the way back. The way the offense is marching, it appears it will.
Big break for Georgetown there because Big Boy was rumbling down that sideline. We don't.
Yeah, that's going to wipe out about a 24-yard gain there.
We don't have the measurements, but that was a fire plug running down that left side of the Manor offense.
Absolutely, he was. He's a big boy.
So the penalty will push Manor back to their own 27. It'll be 1st and 20 now. 10-14 to go, opening quarter. Manor leads at 7-0 after taking the opening kickoff. Back 49 yards for a touchdown on an onside attempt for Georgetown. Ball at the near hash mark, moving right to left for the Manor Mustangs. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Split back to the formation. Fake handoff, quarterback up the middle. And ball is out. Georgetown's got it, and they will take over deep into Manor territory. We'll see who came up with the football. It was Taylor Beal with the recovery.
Taylor Beal, leading tackler on the Eagle team, just an absolute stud on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles. Comes up with a great play in the fumble recovery. Now we're in business. And if we can put points on the board here, then that kind of makes up for that onside kick.
It'll help negate that opening onside kick for sure.
Brad Kelly, something else to consider is as cold as it is tonight, those sticky gloves might not work as well as these kids are expecting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I heard somebody talking about that the other day in a real cold game. They switched to a leather composite instead of the sticky gloves for those games.
Georgetown 1st and 10, ball at the Manor 23. Split backs for Herman. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Got a man coming in the backfield. It's complete across the 20 to the 15. And pushed out of bounds is Ryan Edie, but a really good first down play for Georgetown, getting all the way to the 14. It'll bring up 2nd and 1.
You can tell Manor has heard Ryan Edie's number. They know where he's at, but he was able to sneak out of the backfield. And Devin Lemire came up and was able to make the play, but not before a 9-yard gain.
Ball on the right hash. Georgetown moving with the wind left to right towards the south end zone. Man goes in motion. Edie takes the handoff over the right side, cuts up across the 10. He's in for a first down, as that'll bring up 1st and goal for Georgetown at the 9-yard line.
Daron Butler came up and made the play, and that time is when you saw what we were talking about earlier with Edie's running style, that low style, gets those pad low. His shoulder pads were about even with the belt of the defenders as he ran by him.
3 receivers left for Georgetown. Man goes in motion. Fake handoff. Herman makes a man miss in the backfield, trying to get to the corner, out to the 10, and goes out of bounds at the 7. Herman maybe had a shot to cut it upfield, but he's just being chased out of bounds, and a good job by the defense for Manor to stretch it out.
Yeah, Tyreek Marshall came in on the right side of the Manor defensive line and broke down, got flat-footed. Darson planted a foot and cut outside and was able to beat him to that side. Get a little bit where it could have been a loss.
Edie in the backfield, 2 wide receivers right. Nobody covering the receiver out here on the near side. Rolling to the right, Herman. He will throw to the end zone. It is caught Touchdown, Georgetown. Cade Lachlan coming up with a 6-yard grab, and the Eagles are an extra point away from tying it up.
Lachlan was able to use his body right there and isolate himself off of that defensive back, and there was no way the defensive back could even come close to the football because of the size disadvantage out there. Nice job. They actually called pass interference on the defense for that, but the touchdown's good. Eagles score, get on the board, and kind of nullify that opening kick fiasco and turn this game back around. So
Isaac Wiseman to kick it off, or to, try the extra point here. We'll wait the extra point. The clock running on the play clock, and the referee out there is actually doing the motion to get the play clock reset. Now it is at 25 seconds. I always call that the raise the roof.
Guys, I don't know if y'all can tell, but the band is even playing slow tonight.
Yeah, I noticed that. As the extra point on the way is up, it is good. And your score, with 9:27 to go in the opening quarter, the Georgetown Eagles have tied it up with the Manor Mustangs, 7-7. Back in just a minute here on SHN Sports with more Georgetown football. Stick around.
Matt Morrow of Gateway Mortgage Group is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. As one of the country's largest privately held mortgage companies, you can expect smart solutions to meet nearly any mortgage need. From the right products to great rates and technology that powers it all, you'll find it here. Gateway Mortgage Group, your local residential lender. Borrow from Morrow. Visit them online at borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS number 464148.
Back here in Georgetown, where the Eagles have tied it up after the short touchdown drive, and it'll be Wiseman to kick it away for Georgetown. This time Georgetown with a little pop-up kick back to about the 24-yard lines where it fielded on the far sideline. Manor returns it out to the 33, and that's where they'll start this drive after Georgetown gets a 4-play, 23-yard touchdown drive, a 6-yard pass from Herman to Lachlan to cap it off. Drive took just under 2 minutes.
That's what you needed. Even up that scoreboard again, basically make this game 0-0, and let's see who can win it from here.
9:21 to go in the opening quarter. Manor to put the ball in play, 1st and 10 at their own 33. 4 wide receivers here, 2 on each side. Man goes into motion. Handoff on the sweep play around the near side. That's Levante Benford. He's taken down in the backfield. A tackle for loss as Georgetown's defense comes up and makes the big play. It was John Miranda stepping up for the tackle.
Miranda, we saw his speed out there on the edge, and Georgetown did a good job of stringing that out, using that sideline as an extra defender and being able to stop that play for a loss. And the defense, good pursuit there. We got to check and see. Manor may use that pursuit to their advantage and maybe cut something back upfield across the grain.
2nd and 12 here for Manor from their own 31. 3 wide to the right side, ball in the near hash, moving right to left. Handoff over the right side. That's Taj Brooks, the running back, being stretched out, tries to get up the field. They're on the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds right around the 33-34, so a short gain brings up 3rd and long.
Trent McConnell able to get out there and push him out of bounds, but again, they did a good job stretching it off to the opposite side that time and keeping that from turning up the field. 3rd and long is what you want.
3rd and 10 for Manor from the right hash mark. Quarterback Matthew Hill comes in, and Manor actually going with the old school huddle here, by the way. You don't see that too much anymore in high school football.
I know, I like it.
4 wide here for Manor, 2 on each side. Hill has the call, and it sure looked like Manor went off sides. They did, as the play is blown dead. The wide receiver, Levante Benford, in the slot, took off about a fraction of a second early.
Well, and they're lucky because Georgetown read that play all the way. The quarterback went back through the progression of the play and threw the pass out there. That would have been a pick 6 had the players not quit, because there were 2 guys in blue jerseys that had a shot at that football better than Manor's receiver had.
7-7 football game here. Opening quarter of play. Manor with the touchdown on the opening kickoff after the onside kick attempt for Georgetown ended 3 inches short of being good. Manor alertly picked it up and took it back. Georgetown got a fumble recovery, though, deep in Manor territory, and the short touchdown drive has tied it up. So Manor with their 2nd full possession of the game here. 3rd and 15. Snap back. quarterback draw play as Matthew Hill goes over the right side. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It was Andres Langhorn there with the tackle. And here comes a punt for the Manor Mustangs.
Nice quick job out there on the edge by Langhorn getting out there and shutting that play down. That's what this defense is going to have to do all night against this Manor offense. Their bread and butter is running the football, and if they can stop that, then this is one of those situations where the coaches will go, look, you're going to have to beat us throwing the football.
Yeah, Manor's had the ball now for 4 offensive plays. They've gone backwards. They've had negative 15 yards if you include actually the penalty yardage in there as well. Spread out set now. Manor will tighten it up as they get sent to punt. The Mustangs call for it. Punt is away. Pretty good push up the middle for Georgetown. It is fielded by Cade Lachlan on the left side, right around the 47 of Georgetown. He'll go down right there. But the Eagles get great field position to start this next drive.
My goodness. I couldn't see who it was, but somebody got penetration back there and just laid one of the protector blockers out.
Brad, Kelly, I think it's interesting. Really, other teams have had a hard time running up the middle against Georgetown, and you see what Manor seems like they're trying to go around the edges, and that doesn't work either because when you got Matt Anderson and Taylor Beal that have so much speed, they're going to chase them down. And it's just great to see our defense playing at this high level right now.
Well, we have struggled in the passing game through parts of the season, so it's good to see that run game is just staying tight in there.
Herman with Edie behind him, sends Edie to his right. Ball at the left hash mark. Man goes in motion now. There's a fake handoff. Herman to throw over the middle. Got a man wide open. That's Jake McCown going into the 20-yard line, taken down from behind. But a 33-yard gain on first down puts Georgetown deep into Manor territory inside the red zone now at the 18.
Great play call. I love it. Lined up kind of like a tight end and just sneaks out, chips his guy, sneaks out wide open in the middle. Good creative play calling, man. That's exciting. I like to see that.
What a nice touch on the ball, too, Darcy.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't overthrow it. He just a nice touch on that one.
Officially a 35-yard gain after he drugged the defender for a couple extra yards. There's a handoff to Edie on first down. He'll plunge his way forward through the hole down to the 14-yard line and a pick up of 4.
And the reason I didn't say he didn't overthrow it is good because the wind, you just got to put a little touch on it right now in the direction they're going from north to south, just a little bit.
Yeah, the wind kind of at their back going this direction.
That's the kind of play you can throw into that wind, too.
5 wide here for Georgetown. Herman looking to throw. He is pressured in the backfield and sacked by a host of Manor Mustangs. 5 different Mustangs back there, led by Tyreek Marshall.
A lot of penetration there. Kind of looked like, with as quickly as they got in the backfield, how they'll set up a screen play sometimes. Kind of looked like that, but there was no screen there for Darson to do. All he could do was swallow that football, not try to do anything, and turn the ball over.
And the way Darson tucked it, it looked like it might have been a design quarterback draw actually coming out of there. Either a screen draw, something like that, like you're talking about, to get those defenders in. But there, Georgetown now in a bit of a hole. It is 3rd and 11 from their own 19. 4 wide. Man goes in motion on the right side. That's Cade Lachlan. Herman to throw, near sideline across the middle. It's intercepted by Manor. Coming back the other way across the 30 to the 40 and wrestled down at the 45. Darson Herman making the touchdown-saving tackle. Coming up with the pick, Eric Jesse, number 14.
And he was reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. A poor throw by Darson behind the receiver and right into the hands of Jesse. Sorry. Big turnover there, big stop for the Manor Mustangs, and now they're in business near midfield.
Manor takes the ball now at their own 46-yard line. 5:22 to go in the opening quarter here in the Glenn Patterson Realtor first quarter. There's a handoff over the left side and pushing across the 50 into Georgetown territory at the 47-yard line is Taj Brooks, the running back. Helmet came flying off there. Tackle made by Trent McConnell.
Yeah, Matt Anderson got a hand on him right at the line of scrimmage, was able to slow him down a little bit, and then McConnell finished him off. But a good gain on first down for the Manor Mustangs.
Now it is 2nd and 3 now for the Manor Mustangs. Ball in Georgetown territory at the 47. Manor taking their time, and kind of smart here for Manor to take their time because the more they bleed off this clock, the quicker they can get the wind at their back. There's a handoff. No, faked over the left side. That's Matthew Hill, the quarterback, and he's got enough for a first down as he's out to the 43. Sorry, that's not Hill. That is Jackson Zardovitz, the quarterback. Jackson Zardovitz.
Langhorne was able to come in for the defense and shut that down, but again, they get the first down. Manor's got something going on this drive here. Georgetown's going to need to stiffen and stop this drive, try to get that ball back so they can have the wind at their back for one more possession.
So Zardovitz in with a man to his right. Hands it off to Brooks. Brooks with a hole over the left side. Shakes off one defender in the backfield. Now reverses field back to the right side. Still being chased. He's back 5 yards. Now across the 40. Down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. He kind of runs himself out of bounds around the 33. That's enough for a first down for the Manor Mustangs. And what a run by Taj Brooks.
He ran about 67 yards to gain 10. And I don't know how he got back out there. Two guys had shots at him in the backfield, weren't able to bring him down. Quarterback just kind of got in the way. I wouldn't call it a block, but got in the way and allowed him to escape the defenders.
Sometimes all you need to do, though, as a quarterback especially, just get in the way. 4 wides here for Manor, 2 on each side. Brooks in the backfield next to Zardovitz. Zardovitz throws far side, bubble screen. It is dropped and incomplete at the line of scrimmage.
You'd think the way that quarterback got in the way on that previous play, he was making a multi-million-dollar contract.
Ball was intended for Carl Chester out there. He's the one who dropped it. So it's 2nd and 10 at the Georgetown 33 for the Manor Mustangs on the right hash mark, moving right to left with 4:11 to go here in the opening quarter.
If Georgetown can stop them on a couple of plays, it'll be interesting to see. It's probably going to be 4th down territory, I would guess.
Split backs in the backfield. Zardovitz fakes the handoff, takes it up the middle himself. He's across the 30, dancing right, and we wrestle down from behind at the 26. Coming up with the tackle was Aaron Bizzell.
Nice job of shutting that down, but now you've got 3rd and short instead of 3rd and long like you're looking for in this situation. So
a lot of attention was paid to Brooks on that call. They used him as a decoy pretty well.
That's a big decoy.
Glad to have you all along here on SHN Sports tonight. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe as well. Love to hear from you. Love to know where you're all listening from. 3rd and 3, handoff over the right side. Got a big hole across the 20 to the 15. Ball's out, and it looks like Manor fell on it. Yeah. Shane Wabuko, the brother of Chooks Wabuko from Hutto of years past, got hit real hard going around the right side. Ball popped out, but the Manor Mustangs were right there to cover it. So it's 1st and 10 for Manor at the 16.
Number 59, Justin Pearson, was able to get back on that ball. Boy, that could have been a huge turnover. Quarterback made a good decision in handing that ball off because he was going to get snuffed in that backfield. But he handed it off, and Wabuko was able to bounce that outside for big gain.
So Manor in the red zone now for the first time on offense. There's a handoff in the backfield, and just getting a couple of yards on the patient runs was Brooks. Tackle made by Marcus Herrera back there. Short gain of 2 at the 14, now 2nd and 8. Like we said, Manor taking their time. They took this ball over with 5:22 left in the quarter. We're back down to about 2:42, so they're not only moving the ball, Kelly, but working this in their favor, knowing that they get the wind at their back in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is a big drive in this game so far to this point for Manor.
2nd and 8. Zardovitz looking to the sideline, changing the play. 4 wide receivers here for the Mustangs. There's a handoff to Brooks. Up the middle, big hole. Jumps over a defender. He's upended inside the 10 at the 6. And that should be just enough for a first down.
Dangerous because he came down on his head, his left shoulder. And I think that kind of stunned him a little bit because he was a little slow getting up. But, Dave, they're having some success now right at the teeth of that Georgetown defense.
Yes, they are. And a perspective from the sideline is their wide receivers are very, very short. Kelly, I don't know if you can see it from here, but it's interesting. But that run up the middle, they had success on that one that time.
Yeah, we said it earlier. They weren't having much trouble early running around Georgetown, but they're going right at them right now. There's a late handoff to Brooks. He dances forward inside the 5, pushing down to about the 2. They almost messed up an exchange back there, Kelly.
They did, but he was able to hang on to the football, big, strong push. His hat came off in that play, so he's going to have to come out for a play, and the defenders are not upset about that at all.
Now, Taj Brooks has been a beast back there running, a very patient runner as well.
He is, which is kind of surprising because sometimes those big guys will just try to go in and maul everybody, but he does a good job of letting his blocks open up for him.
Well, Manor I don't know if they're going to wait for this clock to run down and call timeout, so maybe they can get Brooks back on the field, or maybe looking to run a Wildcat type play here. I don't see Zardovitz on the field. Levante Benford is kind of standing where a quarterback would normally stand right now, but Maynard's just going to let this thing run down. 10 seconds to go on the play clock, 1:10 in the opening quarter, 7-7 score. And yeah, Maynard's going to take the timeout and think this one over.
That's a pretty smart call because you want Big Boy in there to push this ball across the goal line.
Well, we're going to step aside, take the timeout with them. 7-7 your score, 1 minute to go in the opening quarter here in the Glenn Patterson Realtor first quarter. Back with more Georgetown football on SHN Sports in just a minute.
Remember, fans, you can get
If you're looking to buy or sell a home or land in the Georgetown area, call Glenn Patterson Realtor. As a third-generation resident of Williamson County, his knowledge will assure you will receive the best price for your purchase or sell. Don't wait. Contact Glenn today at PattersonPropertiesTX.com.
It is 2nd and goal for the Manor Mustangs as they have the ball at the Georgetown 2-yard line. 1 minute to go in the opening quarter here in the Glenn Patterson Realtor first quarter. And with the timeout, Taj Brooks able to come back in the football game, the running back for Manor. There's a handoff to Brooks over the left side. Georgetown trying to stretch it out. He will cut up field, but he's taken down for a loss. Couple of yards on the play, and it's where he is dropped. And it was big number 29, John Miranda, number 28, coming up with the tackle. And Trent McConnell, my apologies.
Yeah, nice job of stringing that out. There was one point there where the defenders got a hand on it, but it looked like he was going to be able to break free of that, but he wound up hanging onto that jersey and pulling him to the ground. That's a big stop. Need to hold him here on 3rd down.
So ball at the 4, 3rd and goal for Manor. 54 seconds to go in the opening quarter. They go to a Wildcat with Brooks. Fakes the sweep play. Nope, they did hand it off. Around the right side, cutting up and in. Touchdown Manor. And is Deron Butler, the wide receiver, going around on the end around. And he punches it in from 4 yards out, and Manor retakes the lead.
Just one too many guys for that defense to account for, and he was able to bust through there. Not a big kid at all. So he kind of hid out there on the edge.
I think Georgetown was fully expecting Brooks to keep that football going up the middle there on the Wildcat.
Yeah, I think he was, and he did a good job of hanging on to that football until the bitter end.
Extra point on the way here for Manor into the wind. It is Yael Sanchez. Kick up. Kick is good. And your new score with 49 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. The Georgetown Eagles trail the Manor Mustangs by a count of 14-7. Back with the final couple of plays of the Glenn Patterson Realtor first quarter in just a minute here on SHN Sports.
Jimmy Jacobs' reputation for building beautiful custom homes in Central Texas speaks for itself. For over 30 years, he has been behind some of the most successful and sought-after new home developments in Georgetown. Grand Endeavor Homes represents a new era of elegant custom home building. Now joined by his son, Justin Jacobs, Jimmy has launched Grand Endeavor Homes to continue his legacy and reputation for custom homes in Georgetown and the surrounding areas. Visit GrandEndeavorHomes.com for details and directions to the model home.
Manor to kick it away, 49 seconds to go here in the Glenn Patterson Realtor first quarter. Your score, the Georgetown Eagles trail the Manor Mustangs by a count of 14-7. Manor will have to kick this away into the wind, though, so Georgetown with a chance to get pretty decent field position, as the high end-over-end kick will be motioned for a fair catch and caught at the 26-yard line. So Georgetown will have to take over right there.
Being an old-school football fan, I hate those pooch kicks, but, man, it was really effective right there and did exactly what you wanted to do. No chance for return. Kill the ball right there, and now you've got the Eagles on their heels a little bit down by a touchdown. They've only got 48 seconds with the wind at their back, but the patterns that the Eagles have been running are patterns that you can run into this wind because they're those short, quick-hit passes, which is exactly what I think they need to continue to do and keep trying some of those and keep that defense loose as well. So with the Eagles having that game plan in motion, we'll see what they can do now in this series.
Herman sends a man in motion here, 1st and 10 from the 26. Taking the handoff on the sweep play is Brandon Bradford. He cuts upfield on the far sideline at the 40, pushed out of bounds there. But a really good first down play for Georgetown. They'll pick up a 15 in a new set of downs.
Devin Lemire kept that from happening and being even bigger than it really was, number 7 for the Manor Mustangs. But great first play right there.
Georgetown going quickly, having to get everybody up on the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. It is a direct snap to Herman. He's going to keep it on the right side. He's got room to the 45, and stiff arms the man for being pushed out of bounds at the 46. So a gain of 4 on first down.
Darson smooth ran right past number 8.
Yeah, he did. And Darson's so big and agile. It's super agile. If he was 6 feet, 185 pounds, he'd be agile. But this kid is 6'3", 215, and just athletic. It's fun to watch.
By the way, that Manor touchdown drive, 10 plays, 54 yards, 4 minutes, 36 seconds. There's a handoff to Edie over the right side, trying to pick up a block. Now we'll just move forward and get what he can, plunging out across the 50. He's out to the Manor 49. And that'll bring up 3rd down and short. Tackle was made there by Wilfred Minor.
I think they can get a play off one more.
It would be really quick if they do so. We are down to the final 5 seconds of the quarter, and Georgetown will let it run out. A 3rd and 1 coming for Georgetown when we come back for the second quarter after 12 minutes of football here at Birkelbach Field tonight. Your score, the Manor Mustangs lead Georgetown by a count of 14-7. Back in just a minute with the second quarter of play. Stick around here on SHN Sports.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
Georgetown lines up quickly, 3rd and 1, first play of the second quarter. Darson Herman takes a direct snap up the middle, pulling men forward across the 40 to the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Darson Herman and a convoy of blockers pick up the first down and plenty more after gaining 17 in a new set of downs for the Eagles.
Rumble, big boy, rumble. Oh, man, I love it. That was old school. There's been 2 plays in this game I want to see on a grass field with mud and dirt everywhere.
Well, it is 1st and 10, Georgetown from the 34 now of Manor. Trips right, Herman hands off up the middle. Edie with a hole, and he'll push his way up to the 31, and a gain of 3 on first down. Tackle was made by Major Ding.
Nice job of a little push there. Edie did a good job. Again, it's his running style, keeping low, where he's really hard to bring down on that first contact.
Remember Ryan Edie coming off a 195-yard night last week against Pflugerville in that victory. Man in motion is Bradford. Edie, rather. There's a handoff, no fake. Herman with a big hole around the left side. Cuts back to the left, and he is out across the 20 to the 19. It's another first down for Darson Herman. If he'd have gone back right, he had nothing but room in front of him.
He left that kid flat-footed, then wound up leaving him flat on his shoulder pads on his stomach because he juked him out of his shoes.
Well, a 12-yard gain for Herman. It's 1st and 10 rather. Georgetown inside the red zone. Man in motion, Lachlan. Handoff to Edie. Big hole over the left side, pulling a couple of guys with him across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. Eric Jesse was with the tackle.
A lot of times Edie will let those blocks develop, but there wasn't any blocks out there, so he just accelerated right off the bat. Darson handed him the football, and he really met head up with the defender out there and won that battle.
Edie stays in the backfield. Bradford in motion. Handoff again to Edie. Up the middle. falls forward. He's out to the 11, and that's 3rd and 2 now after the short 3-yard pickup.
He does such a good job of not getting stopped on that first contact, and right then he got hit just shortly after he got the football right about the line of scrimmage. But again, running so low and pushing forward, keeping those legs driving, he was able to gain a couple of yards when it looked like he didn't have anything.
Georgetown needs the 9. 3rd and 2 here. A couple of men in the backfield. Edey moves to the left of Herman. I believe that's Marino to his right. Nope, it's not, but Edey will take the handoff over the right side. Cuts up right between the hash marks, and that's enough. Oh, they're going to mark him short. I thought he had enough for a first. He only got to the 10, though, so it's 4th and 1.
That was not a very generous spot.
Designate Rich with the tackle. So it's 4th and 1 Georgetown. They're going into the win, so I would imagine the Eagles are going to go for this, not even worried about a kick right now.
They brought in the big boys, the buffet killers, and I would imagine Darcy's going right up the middle.
I would think so. There's the snap to Herman. Direct snap. Up the middle he goes. He's to the 7-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Georgetown Eagles as Princely Umaymelian comes up with a tackle.
Easy for you to say.
Say that one 3 times fast.
That's funny. It's funny because on that play, you see all these guys coming in with no sleeves, all the big muscular kids coming in on the field, and you know where it's going. It's just you can't do anything about it.
I mean, he's 6'3", 215, 220. You're not going to do much back there with that guy. Sending a man in motion. It's a handoff on the sweep to Bradford around the left side. Pulls a man over, reaches out, touchdown, Georgetown. Brandon Bradford just lowered his shoulder, knocked a man about 3 yards backwards, and reached the ball across the goal line. And Georgetown's an extra point from tying this thing up.
After he hit him, he kind of stood up and looked at him before he crossed the goal line. Like, hey, why don't you just lay there for a little bit? I'm going to go over here and score.
It's a cold night, and that's going to feel tomorrow.
Oh, man, that had to hurt. That was awesome.
Extra point on the way after the 7-yard TD run. It is up, and it is good. A new score with 8:47 to go in the second quarter of play in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter. We are tied up here at Berkeley Field. Manor 14, Georgetown 14. Back in just a minute with more of this football game here on SHN Sports.
Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at GeorgetownShirtCompany.com.
Georgetown to kick it away, 8:47 to go in the second quarter, and it is a 14-14 ball game after Brandon Bradford ran it in from 7 yards out, running a man over. They just showed the replay on the scoreboard. And Dave, did you feel that one down there? You were pretty close to it.
That was beautiful. He hit him right in the face mask, and he just reached over for the touchdown. How about that offensive line on that last drive, Brad Kelly?
Great job by the O-line moving guys out of the way, and that's what we said before the game started. That's what they're going to have to do.
Well, the kick is away, a little pop-up kick to be fielded at the 41. Man, the Manor Mustangs almost didn't come up with that. The upback had to just kind of come after it. It was Darian Fletcher who finally put it away.
I just can't imagine what that ball's doing up there in the air like that with that wind blowing on it. Pushing it a little farther back. Misjudged a little bit, but you're hoping he drops a football if you're an Eagles fan. But
it's kind of like throwing a Frisbee in the wind. You got to take off running because you know it's not going to come down where you think it is.
Split backs for Manor here, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff over the right side. That is Wabuko, makes one man miss, just steps out of bounds now at the 44. Good job being stretched out by Georgetown's defensive line there after the 3-yard gain.
Trent McConnell kept him from turning up the field and trying to turn that into something. Broke down out there on the edge, forced him farther to the outside. A good job there, again, of stretching that out and keeping it to a minimal gain.
By the way, that Georgetown scoring drive, 11 plays, 74 yards, lasted 4 minutes and 1 second. 2nd and 7 here for the Manor Mustangs. Ball on the right hash, moving left to right. Handoff to Brooks, bouncing it out to the right side. He gets across the 50 into Georgetown territory. He's forced out of bounds at the 47. Chased out by Trent McConnell, but that's a first down for Manor.
It's just so fun watching like Taylor Beal on that defensive side of the football, just watching him hunt that football down. He's always around the ball. He wasn't in on that play, but he's always around where the football winds up because he does a great job of keeping his head up, and that's why he's leading the team in tackles.
9-yard gain on that last run, so ball at the Georgetown 47 here. First and 10 for Manor. Hand off to Brooks, stretching out the left side. Georgetown defense reads this one well. He just gets what he can, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage for Brooks. May have lost a yard there, traced out of bounds by Taco Williams. It'll be 2nd and 10.
A lot of speed by our DBs on that last play, guys.
He's run for a couple of 100 yards already in this game, but he's only gained like 12.
Yeah, he had the one play where he ran 60, 70 yards and picked up 10 earlier in that. Manor trying to get back on side here before they get set. They had a guy who was covering up someone who wasn't supposed to. Ball snapped back. Ball's on the ground, and the Manor Mustangs, did they blow that dead too early? I think they blew it dead early.
Oh, my goodness.
The quarterback fumbled the football. Jackson Zardovitz, he never really had possession of the ball. Georgetown jumped on it, but I heard the whistle get blown, Dave.
Yeah, they're talking about it, that it's if Georgetown doesn't get this ball, that's going to be probably the biggest call of the year because the quarterback landed on the ball on the ground, and then it came out, slipped out from underneath them, and the Georgetown player grabbed that ball.
I thought they blew it
Georgetown
dead.
Ball. Inadvertent whistle.
You got to be.
So it's an inadvertent whistle. Are they going to replay the whole down?
No, I think.
Well, no, they're moving the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. The inadvertent whistle, though, happened after the ball was on the ground and the sack happened. At the very least, it should be a 9-10 yard loss on a sack.
Yeah, and the play should be dead right there. That inadvertent whistle is basically the referee saying, hey, we blew the whistle too soon and we shouldn't have, but the play is dead right there.
But it wasn't a whistle on the snap.
No.
That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think that's the argument that's happening right now for Chuck Griffin, head coach, is he's like, well, okay, if you're going to blow the inadvertent whistle, the play still counts as a sack.
Right. The inadvertent whistle just kills the play where the ball is.
Yeah. Wow. So Manor may have caught the break of all breaks here, because right now it looks like the officials are going to set this ball back down and just replay the down. It'll be 2nd and 10 instead of 3rd and 19.
That's huge.
I'll see if I can get an explanation at the break and catch Coach going in for the locker room on that.
Let's get the official word here.
Manor is chosen to replay the down.
The offense gets the choice after the inadvertent whistle, and they've chosen, of course, to replay the down because you just lost 9 yards. Wow.
Yeah, not only does Georgetown not get the football, they don't get the loss of the 9 yards and the loss of down. That was an enormous break for the Mustangs.
2nd and 10 for Manor now. 3 wide to the right and 1 to the left. Ball on left hash mark, moving left to right.
That referee ought to be in timeout for a play.
Zardovitz back to pass, setting up the screen. It is caught by Brooks in the backfield. He breaks one tackle, but not the other. Able to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. I think he lost a yard there.
Matt Anderson did a really good job of sniffing that one out and keeping that from going anywhere.
Well, that's a loss of 1 on the play, and here comes 3rd and 11. My goodness, that should probably be 4th and 20 at least right now. Well, Georgetown's defense just got to shake it off and get off the field here. 7:52 left in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter. 14-14 your score. Zardovitz takes the snap, rolls left. He's going to run a little counter draw play to Brooks. Georgetown snuffs it out. Matt Anderson read that one well as he drops Brooks back for a loss of 4. And Manor is back into their own territory now. Ball at the 49. Here comes 4th down.
That's the play where you're running against the grain. You try to shift it back, but the left side of the Manor offensive line wasn't able to do anything with the Georgetown linemen, and they were waiting for him.
Little delayed counter draw there. So it's 4th down. Manor kicking with the wind at their back on 4th and 14. Punt is away. Georgetown got a decent rush. That's an end-over-end kick that's going to bounce, and Georgetown may have caught a break. Ball will bounce out of bounds at the 29, but considering the wind's going in the direction for Manor, that was a pretty short little punt.
I think Louis Saluoni got a hand on that kick. He came really close, or was it Hargrove?
It looked like Hargrove was all over it, and he might have got an elbow on it or something because he was that far up in the air. Hey, Kelly, is anybody from Manor playing both ways tonight? Have you been able to tell?
I haven't really paid attention to it.
They've got a pretty thin sideline over there.
There's only about I'll count.
Herman in the backfield leading the offense back out there. Turns around, hands it off to Edie over that left side of the line, and Edie will get to about the 33 for a pickup of 3 or 4 on first down. Tackle made by Princely Umamiyelin.
Well, you see his speed and capabilities and why big colleges are looking at him. He just pursued from that backside. Did a great job.
2nd and 7 here. Hand off again to Edie up the middle, and that's stuffed by the Manor defensive line. Several players there, a gain of 1, but Eric Jesse led the way.
Connor Heffernan out there on Princely trying to deal with him out there, and he's doing a good job of staying with his block. Princely's just a strong kid.
3rd and 6 here. Maybe 7, short 6, long 7. Rolling to his right. Herman will tuck it. He's going to run across the 35, and he is shoestring tackled at the 39. Man, the defender, Tyrick Marshall, just had him by his ankle and held on for dear life, and Herman couldn't shake it.
He got some help up there, but he knocked that help back about 6 yards whenever he hit him. They were able to bring him down. But
well, here comes 4th and 1 for Georgetown in their own territory at the 39, and the punt team has not come on the field. Remember, Georgetown will be punting into the wind if they do so. Herman in the shotgun. Claps for it. Maybe they're trying to draw him off sides here with 13 seconds left on the play clock. We have seen Herman just take it up the middle a few times, too. Here he moves Edie to his right. Now he's going to drop back. Here's the pooch kick. So Herman takes the snap and hits a nice high kick that just dies in the wind at the 40. Takes a Manor bounce and will stop at the 45 of Georgetown. He kicked it pretty well, but that thing just, once it gets up in the air more than the height of the goalpost, it's dying tonight.
They netted 16 yards on that kick, so not really what you want out of the pooch kick, but you're asking a quarterback to punt the ball in adverse conditions.
I don't know anybody can get out there and punt the ball too well tonight with these conditions. So
Ray.
Ball at the 45 for Manor, 5:19 to go here in the second quarter.
Ray Guy, maybe?
Snap and a handoff to Brooks over the left side. He's hit in the backfield, shakes one tackle, but not the second one, taken down at the 35-yard line. Andres Langhorn stepping up and making the play. A big loss for the Manor Mustangs. They dropped 10 on first down.
He just bounced off of Colby Cummings, and Langhorn came up to wrap him up. That was an interesting matchup there.
Yeah, Matt Anderson had a shot back there, too, with him. So a bunch of guys on that defensive side of the football able to get back there and keep that. And actually broke away from the first tackle and lost another yard and a half.
2nd and 19 for the Mustangs. Taj Brooks to the right of Jackson Zardovitz. Zardovitz takes the snap, throws near sideline, ball high but caught, and tackled immediately at the 40-yard line. Tackle made there by number 28, John Miranda. Ball came out late. Georgetown says they have it, but I think they're going to mark him down. Darian Fletcher with the catch.
I believe as soon as the progress was stopped, they blew those whistles pretty quick.
And on those plays, Georgetown will give that up all day long.
Yeah, just a short gain. Ball gets back to the 40, so a gain of 4 there. Here comes 3rd and 15 for Manor. 4:05 to go in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter. Ball on the right hash mark, moving left to right for the Manor Mustangs, wearing the white jerseys. On a cold, windy night in Central Texas.
I see Brooks out here to the right. I wonder if he'll stay out here.
Yeah, he's in the slot right now, but I think Manor's going to let this clock run down and call time and maybe get their thoughts together before they run this play. We're going to step aside with the timeout. 14-14 ball game here in Georgetown between the Mustangs and the Eagles. Back in just a minute with more Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports.
If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a proud supporter of Central Texas high school football. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based, nonprofit 501c3 Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, please visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
3rd and 15 for the Manor Mustangs. Throwing down the middle. It is overshot, incomplete. Zarnovitz looking for a man near the sticks, but well covered there by the Georgetown defense. Pass was intended for Darian Fletcher, and the Eagles will force a punt here. 14-14 your score, 3:40 to go in the opening half of play, as Georgetown will try to get some points before we get to the break.
One of the disadvantages to that is having that 167-mile-an-hour wind behind you like that. It can really sail those footballs away from you, and I think that's exactly what we saw. There was too much wind behind that football.
Hurricane England blowing through tonight. His little low punt will go straight out of bounds. That was rushed by the Manor punter there. Sure looked like. I think that's Matthew Hill, the backup quarterback, and the ball went out of bounds at the Georgetown right around the 40 or so.
That looked like my 83-year-old dad kicked that football.
It almost looks like the Manor quarterback's running off a little gimpy for some reason. I don't know if he's just cold or maybe with this cold weather he's just not stretched out or something.
That punt netted just 15 yards despite the fact that Manor had the wind at their back there. 14-14 game. Herman leads the offense back on the field. Ball at their own 40 for the Eagles. Bradford in motion. He'll take the handoff on the sweep. Cuts up at the 45, makes one man miss, crosses the 50. That'll be a first down run for Brandon Bradford as he's out to the Manor 49.
Tyreek Marshall out there on the edge to keep that from going even farther, but Georgetown did a good job of picking up that first down right off the bat, moving quickly.
Georgetown in that no huddle going fast here. Herman with a keeper around the right end. Trying to stretch it out. The Manor defense doing a really good job not giving Herman any room to cut upfield as he steps out of bounds around the 48, so just a gain of 1.
He's so big and tall that you see him running out there, and it doesn't look like he's running really fast, but he's outrunning those defenders to the edge and gaining a little bit when it looks like he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Kelly, are you seeing this hurry-up offense is working for Georgetown?
Yep.
And the defense for Georgetown just can't get set, and they're confused.
Ball on the right hash, moving right to left for Georgetown. Man in motion, 2nd and 9. Pass out to the near side to Bradford on the bubble screen. He makes the catch, but blocking was a bit amiss by the wide receivers for Georgetown. He's able to just pick up 1 on the play. Here comes 3rd and long. Tackle made by James McDonald.
Princely getting those big paws up in the air, making it difficult for that little swing pass out there, but Darson did a good job. And Bradford did a good job of waiting for that ball, catching it, securing it before he tried to run upfield.
3rd down and 8 for Georgetown. Herman rolling to his right, looking for a man. He's got one on the sideline. Instead, he throws over the middle. It is incomplete, but he was intended for Bradford. But man, oh man, Cade Lachlan was all by his lonesome on the sticks on the far sideline.
And Darson would have done better just hanging on to that football and going. He had one man out there on the edge to get past. And with his size and athleticism, I like that matchup out there because he was out there on an undersized cornerback. So
really credit to Manor number 26. I mean, he laid out there and swatted that ball down. It's just coming across the field, but unfortunately he did go off the field limping.
Georgetown calls timeout, 2:29 to go here in the opening half. And while we got a second, let's remind you from or give you a message from our friends from Fox Auto Parts. WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics, including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Sparkplug and NTK sensor brands. WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics, precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Fox Auto Parts store here in Georgetown, Texas. It'll be 4th and 8 for Georgetown. 2:29 to go in the first half. Tie ball game, 14-14 between the Manor Mustangs and the Georgetown Eagles. Good one here tonight. Georgetown takes the snap. It'll be a punt. Low line drive. Nobody over there. Bounced on the near sideline and dies around the 23 of Manor. So that's where the Mustangs will take over with 2:21 to go here in the opening half.
Both teams have made some adjustments on their defenses, and they're able to stall these runs out. So after the first 2 touchdowns scored by both teams, it's been a boxing match. Both standing in the middle of the ring, slugging it out, see who's going to stay on their feet.
Yeah, both teams, if you actually go back the last 4 drives, only 2 first downs combined over the last 4 drives.
Kelly, they're close enough for a safety here, don't you think?
Boy, every time they get inside the 25, Dave's calling for a safety.
Manor at their own 24 to start the drive. Brooks takes the handoff, cuts up the middle. No, this was a little trick play. Brooks did not keep it. It sure looked like it on the fake, and Georgetown gets a tackle for a loss in the backfield. Langhorne makes the tackle. I didn't see who had the football, though.
Yeah, I watched it, and I didn't buy the fake, but he hung onto the ball, and all of the Georgetown defense did except one guy, number 2, Langhorne, staying in there, making a good, sure tackle. Great job.
So the quarterback, Jackson Zardovitz, kept the football there, I believe.
So that means number 2 must be our spy tonight.
It is 2nd and 11. Snap back. This time a handoff to Brooks over the left side, taken down immediately in the backfield as he's up to the 27. Kind of carried a couple of defenders with him, did Brooks. Just up to the 26-yard line. Georgetown calls timeout after the 3-yard gain. Here comes 3rd and long.
I'm seeing a little bit of a pattern here because the quarterback never keeps the ball more than once. I don't think I remember him keeping the ball twice in a row. And I think Georgetown's keying on that because they're not even looking at the quarterback the second time.
Big number 59 for Georgetown got all over that tackle that time.
Dave, is the wind hadn't died down any at all down there, has it?
No, sir. No, sir. Those flags are still with me.
Oh, yeah.
Goalposts are still leaning towards the Manor stands. I hope it stays up.
Those flags are earning their money tonight.
Yeah. I might have to replace them after this game.
I'll tell you what, we might run out of hot chocolate here at the stadium tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing, though. It's a comfortable 72 here in the press box.
Well, the police officers need that. So
old ones anyhow.
3rd and 8 from the 26. Manor in their own territory. 1:31 to go in the first half. Georgetown trying to get the ball back one final time before the break. Rolling to his right, Zardovitz. He will throw near sideline and skips to his receiver. Incomplete. Good coverage out there by Georgetown. Ball was intended for Carl Chester.
Bizzell played that really well, all over him. He just didn't have a chance to come back where he wanted to and get that ball.
That was a nice textbook job on defense by the Eagle defense right there. Just holding what they were supposed to do, taking care of their assignments, letting everybody else do their job.
Well, one other thing, what that pass does, it stops the clock and allows the Eagles to keep a timeout in their pocket with 1:25 to go here in the opening half.
They need to go after this kick.
Yeah, Manor's had trouble kicking this ball tonight. There's a high snap. Georgetown does come after it. It's a short end-over-end kick, and it'll take a Manor bounce across midfield and will die at the Georgetown 49. But the Eagles get a short field to work with 1:15 to go here in the opening half. Stick around for the halftime show, by the way, folks. We're going to go over a quick scoreboard update, and then we'll send you down to SHN Football Friday. Good live drop-ins on games, scores, everything like that before we come back here for the second half on SHN Sports.
I'll see if I can't get a word with the coach as they're heading to the locker room.
Is that young lady standing next to you warm enough?
No, she's cold.
I told her.
Yeah.
I thought I'm warm enough.
1st and 10, Georgetown. Darson Herman with 4 wide. Sends a man in motion on the backfield. That's caught. Edie across the 50, comes out of bounds, picks up just a couple of yards there on first down. They'll give him the 48, so a gain of 3 as Georgetown's now in Manor territory.
Nice job recognizing there's nothing there and getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. Now we got some tempo with the Eagle offense.
He's 2nd and 7. Georgetown going fast. Quick pass near side. That complete to Fithian. He'll push his way out of bounds, but gains another 2 yards. And it's Georgetown ball at the Manor 46 and 3rd and 5 coming up.
If they can convert this, get a first down, I think they're setting something up off of that play.
Yeah, maybe a fake and go. Edie moves to the right of Herman. 4 wide again, 2 on each side. Herman to pass. Goes across the middle to Fithian in traffic. Caught at the 40. That's going to be enough for a first down. Wow. What a throw there. He fit that to the tightest of tight windows.
Yeah, that was a dart, too, into that wind.
Triple coverage.
1st and 10, Georgetown. They're going fast, and Herman's going to spike the ball with 53 seconds to go and try to save some time. Remember, Georgetown's going into the wind, so a kick's pretty much out of the question. Georgetown needs the end zone here.
Yeah, it might be hard kicking a field goal from the goal line right now.
Well, time called. I think it's because the clock is running. I can't really tell, but officials trying to get something procedural fixed up here. 14-14 your score.
Y'all need to bang on the glass to the left of you. Hey.
Now they're going to give Georgetown a little more time. 53 seconds left in the half. 14-14 here in Georgetown. Good ball game tonight so far between the Manor Mustangs and the Georgetown Eagles. We thought it might be. These two teams know what they're battling for tonight. Just a few weeks to go. Remember, Manor's won 5 straight coming into this contest. 5 wide for Georgetown, 3 near side, 2 on the far, going right to left. Herman to pass, looks, throws, down the middle, got a man, incomplete. Just a little too hot for Tyler Fithian, who was open near the 20-yard line.
Looked like Tyler wasn't expecting that ball to come to him at all. He didn't get his hands up until the very last second. Seemed kind of surprised by that ball being there. It was a good throw. It was where he could catch it, but he just couldn't get his hands up in time enough to make the completion.
Single man to the right, 4 to the near side on the left. Herman to throw, looking left. Now he's going to take off up the middle. He will throw to the sideline, incomplete. He threw that just before he crossed the line of scrimmage. Kind of a desperation throw out of bounds. A little smart there by Herman, though. It saves time. If he gets tackled in bounds, then it changes the complexion of what you have here with 4th and 10 coming up.
He wasn't outside the tackle box, but he did have a receiver in the area, so it was really a good, smart play by Darson.
Well, here comes a timeout called by Georgetown, so they will take it with 4th and 10 coming up and 40 seconds to go on the clock. While we have a second, let's take you through the scoreboard and what's going on around the area tonight. Westwood leads Leander 14-0 in a game you can see on SHN Sports, or listen to rather, that game in the second quarter. In district play, Hutto on top of Pflugerville, about to go to the half, 26-7. Brenham and Bastrop going at it, 16-14. Bastrop with the lead, about to go to the half down there. Glenn leads Marble Falls 21-7 in the second quarter. Vista Ridge 21-13 lead over Hendrickson that late in the second. Cedar Ridge is all over Round Rock tonight. 38-14, still 2:30 to go in the second quarter there. Connolly and Rouse, man, they are having a dogfight right now. 7-2 at the half. Connolly leads Rouse. Rouse got a safety in that one. Let's see, elsewhere on the SHN network, Gerald and Academy, no score there. We'll give you the rest here in just a few minutes once we go to the half. Georgetown will drop into a punt formation with 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Snap is back. Kick is away from Cade Lachlan. And the ball will just get to the 30-yard line and roll to the 29, no more, as the wind just knocked it down. So an 11-yard punt for Georgetown, and Manor takes over.
I'm kind of curious why the timeout right there.
I was wondering the same thing.
Unless there's some indecision about whether we're going to go for it or not, but you only gave up 11 yards there. So maybe going for it in the future when we're going into the wind may be an option.
Well, Manor with the football. They have one timeout, 31 seconds to go. Ball at their own 29, 14-14 to go. As we come to the break, Brooks takes the handoff over the left side, and he is tackled right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a couple of yards there. Clock is running. Taylor Beal with the tackle. Brooks out to the 32, and Manor will take the timeout. Guess you can't take them with you. So 18 seconds to go, 14-14 score. We'll keep going back down that scoreboard as we started a minute ago. Give you some more updates. Thorndale 22-7 over Hearn. That's in the first quarter. Cedar Creek here on the SHN Sports Network. They lead Elgin 10-7 at the half. Rockdale trails CHO 14-0. Let's see what else we got. Liberty Hill trails Burnett 14-7. That game in the second quarter. Lake Travis crushing Del Valley right now, 35-0. They're starting the second quarter there.
Good.
Lampasas 28-0 over Taylor. That's in the second. LBJ in District 12, the opposite district here for District 11. They lead Lanier 21-0. That's in the first quarter. McCallum 10-0. A little bit of surprise as they lead the formerly known as Reagan Raiders, now Reagan Raiders, now Northeast Early College. Remember, Northeast Early College actually has the playoff spot in that district right now,
which is kind of a surprise.
Here's 2nd and 7. Manor drops back to pass, setting up a screenplay off the fingertips and incomplete, intended for Levante Bedford. And here comes 3rd down.
Nice job out there on that edge. Number 4, Colby Cummings, getting his hands up, making that pass hard to throw and hard to complete. And I didn't know Cummings could jump that high.
A few other scores that will of interest as we go down real quick. In the other district as well, a battle for first place in District 12. Dripping Springs leads Seguin 7-6 midway through the second. Temple leads Waco 12-6. That's in the first. Austin and Bowie tied at 7. Westlake 23-0 over Hayes in the second. And then earlier today, a game that got completed from last night. First of all, a snap, hand off to Brooks, up the middle, across the 35, pushes his way to the 40. That'll be a first down for Manor with about 5 seconds to go. They don't have any more timeouts, so I think that's probably the last play of the half.
What kind of stats are we looking at right now for Georgetown?
We'll get them here in just that around halftime once Mr. Welnicki hands them to us. 2 seconds on the clock, 1, and Manor, they spiked it. They're saying there was 1 second left, pointing at the board, and we'll see if the officials give it to him. They will not. That'll be the end of the half. And your score after 24 minutes of football here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, the Eagles and the Georgetown Eagles and the Manor Mustangs tied up at 14, down to the sidelines for Dave, if he can get the interview. Nope. Dave, down there?
Coach, what are your thoughts on this first half?
You know, we tried a little tricky deal there first and gave up a touchdown. And other than that, we played really well. I think we played good defense and we rushed the ball pretty well. So I think the game is going our way. We just got to keep putting points on the board.
What were they able to tell you about that whistle?
They just said it was the line judge on that side. When the quarterback missed the snap, he blew a whistle.
All right, good luck. Kelly, Brad, back to you.
Hey, I wanted to notice something on that last effort. The quarterback never possessed the snap, and he just pushed it to the ground in an effort to knock the play out. That should have been a fumble. Because for him to be able to spike it, he's got to possess it. If he doesn't possess it, and he didn't, he just pushed it to the ground, that could have been ruled a fumble, and Georgetown could have picked that up and gone and scored.
Yeah, I think at this point they're looking forward to some hot chocolate in that locker room.
That hot chocolate tastes a lot better if you return a fumbled snap for a touchdown.
By the way, a couple other scores we want to keep you updated on. Earlier today, a game that got completed from yesterday, the rain and the weather that blew through last night forced Eastview and Weiss to finish up today at the field in Pflugerville. Weiss picks up a 14-7 victory over Eastview. Anderson 34-20 over Lehman last night. Travis and Crockett were postponed. Stony Point falls to McNeil 38-28 yesterday, and Midway over Shoemaker 35-15. Here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, it is a 14-14 football game. The Georgetown Eagles and the Manor Mustangs going at it. Let's give you a quick scoring recap before we throw it to SHN Football Friday. The game opened in maybe the most unusual way you will ever see. An onside kick attempt for Georgetown. The ball stops at the 49 and 9-inch line. Georgetown had 3 or 4 men around it just hoping it would roll another 2 or 3 inches to get to the 50 and recover it. They played it well. Instead, the ball dies, and Manor alertly picked it up. James McDonald goes 49 yards and takes it back to the house. 4 seconds into the game, 7-0 your score. Manor has the early lead. Georgetown, though, would come back after forcing a fumble on Manor's first real possession of the game. and Georgetown would punch it in on a short field, a 4-play, 23-yard drive, and a 6-yard touchdown pass from Darson Herman to Cade Lachlan in the right corner of the end zone to tie it up 7 apiece. Manor, though, would take advantage of a Darson Herman interception deep into Manor territory, and the Mustangs would go 10 plays, 54 yards after the interception return, taking up 4 minutes, 36 seconds off the clock. The drive capped off by a Daron Butler 4-yard touchdown run on an end around on 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. That made it 14-7 to Manor. But Georgetown answered right back on the next drive with an 11-play drive of their own, marching 74 yards, going 4 minutes, 1 second off the clock, capped off by a Brandon Bradford 7-yard touchdown run. And that is where we stand. The two teams would trade punts. Each team would have 3 more possessions in the half. They would punt it every single time. And that's where we stand after 24 minutes of football here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown. Your impressions before we kick it over to the halftime show?
Really entertaining first half. I'm enjoying this football game. We're seeing quite a bit of remarkable stuff going on. And it's a fun football game. We're still in a dogfight, and this is exactly what we expected would happen tonight.
Well, folks, we are going to send it over to SHN Football Friday here. They are live tonight. Live scores, highlights, drop-ins, everything like that. So we're going to kick it over there. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so with half number 2 here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown. Your score, the Georgetown Eagles in a dogfight with the Manor Mustangs, 14-14. Back in just a little bit. Enjoy the halftime show on SHN Sports.
3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at georgetownshirtcompany.com. 2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com. Jimmy Jacobs' reputation for building beautiful custom homes in Central Texas speaks for itself. For over 30 years, he has been behind some of the most successful and sought-after new home developments in Georgetown. Grand Endeavor Homes represents a new era of elegant custom home building. Now joined by his son, Justin Jacobs, Jimmy has launched Grand Endeavor Homes to continue his legacy and reputation for custom homes in Georgetown and the surrounding areas. Visit GrandEndeavorHomes.com for details and directions to the model home.
Two-play drive capped off by the Jasper Compton 16-yard run. They're going to go for 2 here, and it's going to be no good. He stopped right at the 1-yard line and driven back. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and that leaves our score at 13-0. Your Cougars lead it 3:58. The clock shouldn't have run there. I'm not sure why they ran it in the extra point. So the clock should actually be at 4:03. But a flag comes in late now. And here goes the discussion by the referees again. They all come in and huddle up about the 6-yard line in the middle of the field. But the Cougars, what a drive by Jasper Compton. put a gold star on that drive. That's the Jasper Compton drive, brought to you here in the Rob Hip Insurance second quarter on SHN Sports. He had the first run from the 44 all the way down to the 16-yard line. That penalty is going to go. Offsetting penalties. They called one on each team, and so the penalties are just applying it. You get a little chippy out there, and so the referee's trying to squelch it early, as that's about number 4 or 5 on the extracurricular penalties thrown for unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness. And so they'll come over to the sidelines and set it up. So the Cougars will kick off from their own 45-yard line after the quick drive, the two-play drive. Jasper Compton, let's just give him credit, 56 yards on 2 carries and a Cougar touchdown by Compton. What a job there. The 16-yard TD run moves the score to 13-0. And so the Cougars will kick off again after the failed 2-point conversion, leading 13-0 with 3:58 left in the ball game in the first half. Should be 4:03, and the clock operator ran the clock during the 2-point conversion, which should not happen. And so it's 3:58 on the clock in the second quarter. The Cougars, what a job. Oh, got so excited. I'm going to update it. 13-0. Your Cougars leading the ball game. Pursley holds the ball on the tee for Perez. He's going to approach it and kick off from the 40-yard line. The kick is away. Nice and deep. High end over end. Fielded on the far side of the field at the 15-yard line. He's going to cut it back to the 20, 25. Now to the outside. A guy falls down. Can't get him. Up to the 50 where he's tripped up by Jesus Perez. Perez makes the tackle after the long return. I believe it was by Franklin, the running back. Trying to see where he went in there to catch that number. No, number 3, Jalen McWilliams. What a speed runner there as he fielded the ball at the 15-yard line on the far side of the field. Gets it all the way up. They're going to give him up to the 47 of Gerald. So a big return there for the Bumblebees. 3 minutes, 49 seconds left here in the first half. 47-yard line of Gerald is where the Bumblebees will take over for the possession. Ryan White, the quarterback, in the backfield. 2 receivers left and 2 right. He's going to hand it to McWilliams right up the middle. He's going to get all the way down to the 35-yard line of Gerald. That'll be a 12-yard run and a first down for the Bumblebees right away. As McWilliams, the running back right now in the backfield, wasted no time. He took that handoff and hit the hole quickly. Now it'll be 3 receivers left, and now Franklin, the running back, in the backfield offset to the right side of Ryan White. 1 receiver right. He's going to hand it to Franklin. Nope, he'll keep it around the outside. Ryan White past the 35, up to the 30, breaks a tackle, down to the 25, 20, where he's ridden out of bounds. Inside the 15-yard line. It looks like they're going to spot him out at the 15. So it'll be a big run there all the way down for a 20-yard gain there by the quarterback. Did a great job there of pulling it out and keeping it around the right side outside the numbers. He broke 1 tackle and finally taken out at the 15. A 1st and 10 now for the Bumblebees as they push the ball, trying to get in for a score here to start it before halftime. 3 minutes and 16 seconds. The clock should be stopped. Now it'll run on the snap. 2 receivers left, 2 right. He'll hand it to Franklin this time. He dances to the right, stopped him at the 15. He'll get forward maybe to the 13. He's bottled up, and they finally blow the whistle. Ball's out, but it's blown dead, thankfully, because no Cougars were around. It would have been scooped up for a touchdown by McWilliams. But the play was blown dead and about the 13-yard line. So a gain of 2 there on the run by Franklin. So it brings up 2nd and 8 now for the Bumblebees at the 13-yard line of Gerald. The Cougars. That's a Gerald Cougar. The Jaguars. I apologize there. The Cougars. Now on defense, 2nd and 7. The Bumblebees have it. Man in motion. He's going to get the jet sweep to the left side. It's going to be Tegan Jones. He's bottled up. Now he reverses field. Back to the 20. Back to the 23. He's finally bottled up again, and now he's going to be brought down as they all gather around. The ball's out, but the whistle is blown. Great pursuit by the Cougars, and that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards. There's a penalty flag on the ground about the 12-yard line. See what the flag is. They spot him finally down at the 20. 21-yard line. So it'll be a loss of about 8 yards. But it's a holding on the Bumblebees. They're going to decline that and take the 8-yard loss. Man, that is a generous spot for Franklin as he bailed, or Jones, I'm sorry, Tegan Jones. He circled back about the 23 is where he was drugged down, but they gave him the 21-yard line. So it'll be a loss of 8 there on the run, and that'll bring up a third. They got to get down to the 5, so 3rd and 16 for the Bumblebees. Ryan White, he's going to pass across the middle. It's caught by number 15. Ball's out. And it's blown dead again. Number 15, Braden Lilly, makes the catch. But he gets taken down short of the first down, about the 7-yard line. Early whistle there, and Braden Lilly brings it all the way down to the 7-yard line. Gain of 14 there. So now it'll be 4th and 2 from the 7-yard line. They got to get to the 5 for the first down. Shotgun snap to White. He's going to hand it. Nope, keeps it around the right side, about the 10. He can't be caught there. No containment on the right side. And Ryan White is going to just stroll into the end zone for the Bumblebee touchdown. And that'll cut our score now. 13 for Gerald, 6 for the Bumblebees on the 7-yard touchdown run by Ryan White, the quarterback. He likes that keeper around the right side. And number 63, Anthony Gaddison on the far end, couldn't get out there in time, and there was no help as the pursuit came across on the fake. And so now the extra point, it's got to be a fake. Ryan White takes a snap. Now he's going to curl the end zone, and no one out there, and he's going to get the 2-point conversion. And that's going to cut the score to a 5-point lead now for the Cougars, 13-8. They were back in the field goal kick. Snapped the ball to the quarterback, Ryan White. Instead of putting it down, he picks it up and takes off running around the right end, and that's where pay dirt is found again, and that makes it a 13-8 ball game with 1:16 left here in the first half. White has found that weakness quickly there in the last 2 plays, so the Cougars will have to cover up there on that far side of the defensive side of the ball and not let White have that wide open far end zone as he got to that far corner and punched in the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. 13-8, 1:16 left here in the first half. The Cougars lead it by 5. They'll get set to receive the ball here. Now the Cougars do get the ball to start the second half as they deferred the coin flip. They won the coin flip, deferred the decision, and so they will get the ball to start the second half. So it will be nice here if they can push it down and get some points here to end the first half and start the second half off with the ball and do some damage. Number 4, Blake Bundy, the kicker. He kicks a squibber. It hits a Cougar up in the air, and it's fielded by the Bumblebees. They're going to get the ball about the 39, make it the 38-yard line. It's got to be blown dead. He can't advance that. So it'll be at the 40-yard line. The Bumblebees take over. Now, see, the clock doesn't run there, but it ran on the extra point. So that's kind of ridiculous, but the score clock operator has no idea what he's doing up there on the home side of the stand. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 41 of Gerald. So now the Bumblebees have the ball in Gerald territory with 1:16 on the clock. And they got the ball back on the onside kick that paid off. Pass thrown. Tried to hit Lilly. And it's batted down, almost picked off by the Cougars. But it's incomplete. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Gerald 41-yard line. And now they'll take their time. Only 3 seconds went off the clock there. To watch the clock operation here. This management of the time, the scorekeeper is not going well here. So now 3 receivers left, 1 right for the Bumblebees. White is going to take the snap. Rolls out to the left. He's going to heave it towards the end zone using that wind. He hangs it up for McWilliams, but he overthrows him by about 3 yards as he laid out for the ball, and it's incomplete. Nice pass by Williams, but that wind just carried it a little far, and that'll bring up now 3rd and 10 from the 41-yard line of Gerald for the Bumblebees. Ryan White curled out all the way back from the 41, took the snap, curled back and threw that ball from about the 48-yard line of Gerald and about 5 or 6 yards deep in the end zone. A nice tight spiral, but that wind carried it just out of the reach of McWilliams, the receiver. So with 1:05 left here in the first half, now Coach Paul Williams for the Bumblebees is going to take his second time out. We'll take it with him. Be back for the end of the first half, the conclusion of the first half here on SHN Sports coverage of Gerald Cougar football.
Gerald Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Gerald, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
Back here in Little River Academy, Texas, where the Bumblebees find themselves 3rd and 10 from the 41 of Gerald with 1:05 left in the first half. Ryan White's going to drop back, throw it across the middle. He's going to overthrow the receiver, incomplete about the 9-yard line. Number 15, Braden Lilly couldn't run that one down as it hung up in the air a little bit too long. And it brings up now 4th and 10 for the Bumblebees from the 41 of Gerald. 3 incompletions in a row for the Bumblebees. They are wasting. They're just taking shots to try to get the ball down and score again quickly here before the end of the half. After the kickoff from the Bumblebees was low line driver running along the ground, and one of the Cougars just didn't get out of the way. It hits off of him and goes up high in the air and recovered by the Bumblebees. They are still in possession. 4th and 10 from the 41 of Gerald. 3 receivers left, 2 right for the Bumblebees. White's going to take the snap. He runs it right up the middle. Hold on to the ball as he's drugged down after about a gain of about 4 yards. And it's a turnover on down. So a great job of defensive pressure by the Cougars here. That stops the Bumblebees. So they'll get the ball back. The Cougars will have it from their own 37-yard line. So a 4-yard gain on the 4th down run there by Ryan White, the quarterback. But all for naught as he can't get to 10 yards. They don't throw it anymore. 53 seconds. The clock stops on the turnover on downs. And so the Cougars have the ball and time to run here if they want to do it. Jasper Compton and Derek Warren in the backfield. Offset on either side of Heron Rodriguez. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. On the far side, hash marks. They'll take over. Snap is back. Hand it to Jasper Compton. He cuts back across the 35 up to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. That's where he's brought down after a gain of about 4 yards. Compton got the ball. You don't blame him after 2 touches and a 56 yards worth of running in the last possession. He scored on the 16-yard touchdown run. Martin Torres now switches to the left side. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Cougars. 2 running backs in the backfield. Now they're going to hand it to Derek Warren up the middle past the 30. And he's stacked up and driven back. Past the 40 to about the 42-yard line. So he gets a gain of 1 there, and they're going to let the clock run. It's 19 seconds and counting. A 1-yard gain there by Warren. But a timeout called here now. Looks like the last timeout of the half by Paul Williams, the coach of the Bumblebees. So he'll take a chance that the Cougars can't convert and can't. But the thing is, all they do here is got to kneel, and the Bumblebees can't stop the clock. Since it's only 3rd down, the ball is sitting 5 yards short of a first down. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Cougars with 16 seconds left in the half. Leading the ball game 13-8. Your Cougars lead it after a hard-fought battle here in the first half. Back and forth, several possessions ending in turnovers on downs, some punts on both sides of the ball for mainly 1 punt for the Cougars, several punts for the Bumblebees as they being faced with a stiff defense here by the Cougars tonight, doing a great job So here come the Cougars out. They'll have 3 receivers to the right side. 1 receiver, Schomburger, the lone set receiver to the left. 2 running backs, Compton and Warren, offset Rodriguez. The ball snapped on a end around. They're going to hand it to Compton. He'll run it up to about the 44-yard line. That's where he's brought down there. And that'll run the clock out for the first half as it clicks off 3 seconds down to the halftime buzzer. And that's where we go. Halftime, your Cougars lead it 13-8 over the Academy Bumblebees here in Little River Academy, Texas, in John Glover Stadium. So we'll take a quick timeout, and then we're going to send it to the studio for Friday Night Football there in the studio live back in the Georgetown Jewelry Studios in Georgetown, Texas. So you're listening to Gerald Cougar Football here on SHN Sports.
And welcome back to the Georgetown Jewelry Broadcast Studio here in Georgetown, Texas on week 9 of SHN Football Friday. We were just tuning in to the end of the second half where Gerald was at one point leading 13-0 and Academy able to get a nice return and convert the 2-point conversion to narrow the deficit. So at half, Gerald still on top 13-8, but Academy striking near the end there.
Yeah, I mean, Little River Academy, they've improved a lot since they first began playing football, that is for sure. And they're still well within this game against Gerald, but it's going to be tough for them to come back still, even with some of the momentum as they go into the halftime. We'll see who will make the adjustments and come out the second half. I'm thinking Gerald's going to probably come away with this one, but it's still going to be close at the end.
I agree.
Do you want to get into like this Grand Endeavor?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do update now that some of these games are coming out of halftime.
Okay, because I know some of these games are getting ready to head back to the third quarter, and we definitely want to check in on the Manor Georgetown game just because there's so much on the line with that game tonight.
Definitely.
And I guess I can go ahead and start with that because they're still at halftime. So that game on SHN Sports, along with many others, but the Mustangs and the Eagles are tied at 14-14. Winner has a good chance of making the playoffs. The loser, they're going to need some help to get into the playoffs if they can make the playoffs. So much on the line this evening. Same thing for Austin Bowie as they finally tied it up against Austin High over at Burger Center. It's 7-7 there. Austin Westlake destroying Buda Hayes. So I'm thinking that the Hayes undefeated streak is going to come to an end tonight. It's 37-7 before they hit halftime. All chaparrals. Wow. Same thing out in Del Valley. I thought they were going to be a little bit tougher tests for the Cavs. That has not been the case as Lake Travis is dominating before halftime, 41-7. Westwood leads Leander at half, 21-7. We mentioned this game. It started last night. It ended today, but McNeil pulls the upset against Stony Point, 38-28. Cedar Ridge, they're upset-minded tonight as they lead the Round Rock Dragons, who upended Stony Point last week. That score between the Raiders and the Dragons, 38-21 Cedar Ridge. Temple over Waco, 19-6 in the second quarter. At the half, Vista Ridge over Hendrickson, 28-13. In the Battle of the East Side, it's all Austin LBJ over the Novato Vikings, 49-0 as they get ready to head into the half. Steven, I don't know what's going on with the Knights this year, but they're struggling a little bit against Northeast Austin Early College High. It's 10-0 over at House Park tonight.
What else is new?
The Knights are.
This is Matt Diaz, kicker.
This is Taylor Beal, linebacker.
This is Jordan Oldroyd, quarterback.
This is RJ Moreno, running back.
This is Corey Coleman, wide receiver. This is Taco Williams, defensive back, and you are listening to Georgetown Eagle Football on SHN Sports.
Well, Back here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, Texas on a chilly, windy night in late October. We get set for half number 2 of football as the Georgetown Eagles and the Manor Mustangs have played to a stalemate through 24 minutes, 14-14 your score. Welcome back in, everyone. Brad Tillery up here in the booth next to the LT, Kelly Duvall. The captain, Dave England, down on the sidelines as he works his way back down there. He came up here for a quick little warm-up session while we had halftime. It is cold down there tonight,
I don't blame
folks.
him.
14-14 your score. If you're just joining us, let's run you back down the scoring recap one more time and get you caught up. The game started on an onside kick attempt for Georgetown that went 9 yards and 9 inches of the requisite, 9 yards, 2 feet and 9 inches of the requisite 10 yards that it needed. And Georgetown had 2 or 3 guys around the football. They couldn't touch it, so Manor alertly picked it up. James McDonald ran it 49 yards the other way. He scored on the opening kick, 7-0 there. Georgetown, though, would force a fumble on defense and would punch the football in. Darson Herman found Cade Lachlan in the end zone for a 6-yard TD pass, making it 7-7 late in the first quarter. Then midway through the first, Manor would regain the lead. Dayron Butler would take a 4-yard touchdown run over the goal line, 14-7 your score there. And Georgetown would come back late in the first, an 11-yard drive, 74 yards, capped off by a Brandon Bradford 7-yard touchdown run. 14-14 your score. It was a scoreless second. Both teams just traded punts, and that is where we stand. Your first half stats look like this. First downs, Georgetown has 8 of them, and Manor with 6. Rushing yards, Manor with 62 on 22 carries. Georgetown 110 on 22 carries. 71 passing yards for Georgetown, just 3 for Manor so far. They are 2 for 6 through the air are the Mustangs. Georgetown 8 for 14 with a touchdown and an interception for Darson Herman. Herman also 9 carries and 48 yards on the ground. Edie with 10 carries and 30 yards on the ground. The leading rusher for Manor is their main man, Brooks, out of the backfield. Let me catch Taj Brooks, excuse me. He's 15 carries for 53 yards so far. Total yardage on the game, Manor's run 28 plays. They've gained just 65 yards. The Georgetown Eagles have nearly tripled that, 36 plays, 181 yards. Each team has punted the ball 4 times. They're averaging just 22 yards a punt thanks to this heavy, gusty wind we got. It's steady all night long, blowing north to south. And the only stat that matters, though, after all that, Georgetown's dominating the yards column. 14-14, though, is your score as we get set to kick off half number 2 here in Georgetown, Texas. So glad to have you all along. The Eagles will kick it away, moving left to right. That's north to south, so they will kick with the wind here in the third quarter as Manor sets up to return. Isaac Wiseman puts the boots to it, and we are back underway. High end-over-end kick. That'll go out of bounds, so the procedure penalty sets Manor up at the 35-yard line.
Kicking game.
Well, Manor will take over. Manor's going to choose to re-kick this.
Well, if nothing else, just squib that sucker hard down the middle of the field. If you're going to pooch it up and out of bounds, just squib it down the field real hard and maybe bounce it off of somebody, have a chance to recover the football.
But again, you're kicking with the wind right now. I don't know why you wouldn't just try to kick it as far as you possibly could. Now, understand Georgetown's back to a second kicker,
right?
With Diaz out due to injury, so it does throw a bit of a wrench into things. But a little surprised they're not just going to line up and boot it as far as they can for the Eagles here.
Back up 2-4.
We're in the Royce Electric third quarter.
He might be able to kick it over Highway 29 if he's good, with this win.
Pooch it to the middle of the field.
Well, let's see how they decide to attack this one for the Eagles. Ball kicking off from the 35 now.
He could kick it over the head of that guy that's back. He's up at the 25.
Now the ball blows off the tee, and somebody's going to have to hold this thing down. It's too gusty out here tonight. I wouldn't even say gusty. It's just windy.
Their deep man's at the 25. He ought to be able to kick it over his head and then go get it.
Now here's the run-up. As we are blown back into play. Wiseman kicks it. Another end-over-end kick, angled toward the sideline, fielding at the 31. Manor out across the 34 and out to the 40-yard line. looked to be number 4, Levante Benford, with the return. So Manor picks up an extra 5 yards there. So they'll start at the 40.
Well, guys, good news is skies are clear. It's 48 degrees, feels like 41 down here on the field, and the wind is northwest at 18 still, gusting higher than that. 73% humidity, 40-degree dew point, so it's very dry.
Maynard with the ball, and the quarterback, Jackson Zardovitz, leading his team out there. There's a handoff over the right side to Taj Brooks. He makes one man miss out towards the sideline and about the 45-yard lines where he's forced out of bounds. So a gain of 5 on first down for the Manor Mustangs.
Brooks just kind of hopped out of the arm tackle attempted back there by Cummings. Wasn't able to do anything back there and stop him, but turned the corner and made 5.
Second down, 5 to go here. Split backs in the backfield for Zardovitz. Makes the handoff. Zardovitz keeps up the middle. Pushes his way into the linebacker right at the 49-yard line. He'll be a yard short of the first down. It appeared as if Trent McConnell and Matt Anderson combined on the tackle there.
Cooper Bell joins us on the sideline. It's nice to see him in town for the weekend.
Third and 1 here for Manor as they set up. Looking to move the chains. They need midfield. Blitz coming from Georgetown. Zardovitz fakes it, has to keep it rolling to his right. He will lower his shoulder and get just across midfield and pick up the first down as the tackle was made by Matt Anderson, but a new set of down for the Mustangs.
Great call on the run blitz. I like it. I like it a lot. They had a pretty good chance of stringing that out and keeping it for no gain, but quarterback was able to turn it just enough to get that first down.
Yeah, they brought the run blitz up the middle to the Eagles, and Zardovitz wisely went outside, kind of away from everything as the offensive line picked it up. Here's 1st and 10 from the Georgetown 49. Handoff to Brooks, kind of stutters nets, patiently waits, and goes up the middle. He's out to the 46 for a pickup of 3 on first down.
He's just so big. He gets on his toes and leans forward and pushes the entire stack up a couple of yards.
2nd and 7 for the Manor Mustangs. Ball on the right hash mark. They're moving right to left as you listen. Manor wearing the white jerseys, the red numerals, the black pants, and the red helmets tonight. Fake handoff. Nope, they'll give it to Brooks over the left side. He cuts back up the field after a little shake and bake, gets to the 42. Tell you what, that was an extended handoff. Then he gets a 4-yard gain on Taylor Beal with the tackle.
Quarterback's really patient about not handing the ball off too soon.
Yeah, he waits.
And you're kind of setting yourself up for a potential fumble down the road, but they're not seeming to have any difficulty with that late of a handoff.
The longer you can hold that ball, though, the more it holds those defenders in place. Here comes 3rd and 3. By the way, Georgetown wearing the traditional home blue with the white numerals, the silver helmets, and the silver paint. Man goes in motion on 3rd and 3. Fake handoff, throw to the far sideline. That's complete to Wabuko. He's across the 40 out to the 35, and that's a first down for the Manor Mustangs. Pickup of 7 on the play.
Manor's not doing anything big. They're just taking small chunks of this apple, one bite at a time, moving the ball down the field on this drive. They've kept it for going on 3 minutes now in this drive, first drive of the first half, second half.
Already the 7th play of the drive here for Manor. They've had 2 third-down conversions. Snap back to Zardovitz. Handoff over the right side. That's Wabuku again. He's got a big hole across the 20 and wrestled down from behind out to about the 15-yard line for Che Nabuko. Tackle was made by Aaron Bazell. That saved a touchdown, but that's a 20-yard gain on the sweep play for Manor.
Some poor angles on that defense trying to in pursuit of that, and those angles are so important when you're trying to chase down somebody that's got some speed like Mobuko has, and just not real good angles.
Now a personal foul, hands to the face against Georgetown, will move this ball inside the 10 down to about the 7.5-yard line. And so 1st and goal now for Manor as they try to take the opening kick of the second half and punch it into the end zone.
Not a lot of penalties tonight.
1st and goal, ball at the 7. Split backs. Hand off to Brooks over the left side. Breaks off one tackle, spins forward, down to about the 2. That's a 5-yard gain. Here comes 2nd and goal.
You just see will and power on that run right there because he meets the defender, just keeps his legs driving. He's so big. Defender breaks down and hits him good, but not able to stop it at forward momentum just because he's such a big, strong runner.
And he's able to spin with those legs moving too.
Benford to the left of Zardovitz, Brooks to the right. 3 wide receivers in the set as well. Run blitz for Georgetown. Handoff over the right side. Wabuku, he's got plenty of room. He's in. Touchdown, Manor Mustangs. Chain Wabuku with the 2-yard carry on the sweep play to the right side, and the Mustangs regain the lead.
That's not what you want coming out of that first half locker room, and Maynard just pushed the ball right down the throats of this Georgetown defense.
Kelly, did you notice that they seem to be mixing up the style of running? They give it to Brooks for the power running, and they give it to Speed for number 1. So it's the, different runners mixing it up a little bit.
They're going inside outside. Georgetown's having to defend the entire field. The extra point is up. It is good. And your score with 8:45 to go here in the Royce Electric third quarter. The Manor Mustangs have regained the lead. They lead the Georgetown Eagles by a count of 21-14. Back in just a minute with the kickoff. Back here in just a second. You're listening to Georgetown football on SHN Sports.
Pregame Insurance Group is designed to fit your insurance needs. We will help you manage and plan for all your potential risks. As professionals, we assess your needs and offer you a variety of insurance products to choose from. Service, whether it is in response to an insurance claim or general question, is the most important value we offer you. For more information, please visit pigbcs.com.
Back here at Birkelbach Field as the Manor Mustangs punch in the opening kickoff of the second half. They take it the length of the field and score, and they lead it 21-14 over Georgetown. We'll have that touchdown drive for you in a second to recap. First, though, the kickoff for Manor. Run up and the kick, a high end-over-end kick to the far sideline, fielded by Georgetown at the 29. It's a fair catch. And Georgetown will take over right around the 30. By the way, that touchdown drive for Manor, 9 plays, 60 yards, takes 3:15 off the clock.
That's the kind of drive they cannot let these Manor Mustangs have. They've got to do something to shut down that running game. A big boy coming right at them, and they didn't have a lot of success slowing him down that last drive.
Well, let's see if Georgetown can answer. The last time Manor put one on the board, Georgetown answered with an 11-play, 74-yard touchdown drive of their own. Here they start from their own 30. Man in motion is Jake McCown going right to left. Ball on the left hash mark, moving left to right. Herman hands off to Edie up the middle. He'll bull his way forward to about the 33, so a 3-yard gain on first down.
Edie on the carry out of the backfield.
Edie, it's really been fun watching him advance as a runner because early in the season he wasn't the starting running back. But as he has taken over that starting job now, he has really started to progress and mature as a runner.
Second down, 7 to go. Edie to the right of Herman. Man in motion out of the backfield now. That is quick going out of there. Herman throws across the middle, had a man wide open, and McCown couldn't pull it in. The ball was thrown a little hard and at the knees of Jake McCown. If Herman hits him in the numbers, McCown hits his head on the goalpost.
He does. They ran that play earlier and had a great gain on it in our first series that we ran after the botched kickoff or onside kick attempt. We ran that exact play, and it was wide open again. Number 10 for Manor got burned twice on that same play, and that time he was celebrating like he had done something, but all he did was watch an incompletion.
Herman drops back on 3rd and 7. Will throw far sideline. Got a man caught at the 46. First down, Georgetown. Completed to Corey Coleman on the far sideline, a 13-yard pickup.
Great protection that time by the offensive line, giving Herman a chance to get that ball to where he needed to get it.
That might have been the best pass Herman's thrown all night, too. Accurate, far sideline, reading the defense. Ball on the far left hash mark. Herman a drop back, 3, quick bubble screen. That is, the ball's on the ground, fumbled. It was thrown to Corey Coleman, and he falls back on it for a short gain.
Boy, if Corey could have hung on to that football, he's able to bounce that out, gain at least the first down, if not more.
Yeah, They had a lot of blockers out in front of them. Georgetown going fast here. Edey in the backfield to the left of Herman. In motion, Bradford. He's going to take the handoff over the left side on the sweep play. Gets across the 50 into Manor territory at the 48. So a pickup of about 5 there. Should bring up 3rd and 4.
Nice patient run out there on the edge. And he turned that up right at the last second. And that was really effective in being able to gain 6 yards.
Third, good. Sorry.
That wind is shaking this press box now. That is not okay.
3rd and 4, 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and flag is down. It looked like Tyler Fithian may have flinched there in the slot, and it's going to be a false start against Georgetown.
Full start. Number 19 of the offense.
And we'll go against Fithian. Yeah, I can feel that thing shaking up here now, too.
Yeah. Me no likey.
3rd and 9 now for Georgetown. They'll keep 3 wide to the far side here on the right. Ball on the left hash mark. Nobody wide left. Herman drops back to throw. Looking. Throws across the middle. Got a man open. It's caught at the 30. To the 20. To the end zone. Cade Lachlan. Touchdown. Georgetown. 53 yards.
Woo! Nice play. Great play call because they haven't really tried anything deep. And he was wide open. Number 10 for Manor. James McDonald was standing flat-footed and got run right by. And that was a great play, great pass. Nice job there by the Eagles.
Second time tonight that Herman has found Lachlan for a score. The extra point now on the way from Wiseman to try to tie it back up. The kick is up. It is good. And your new score with 7:05 to go in the Royce Electric third quarter. We are once again tied. The Manor Mustangs and the Georgetown Eagles all knotted up at 21. Back in just a minute with more Georgetown football on SHN Sports. Stick around.
And now, your hometown Fighting Tigers. Is this what you hear at your school's athletic events? Has school spirit disappeared from your halls? Well, Waterboy Graphics can't fix the depth along the offensive line, but what they can do is give the look of your athletic facilities a boost that will bring the pride back to students, teachers, and fans. Replace the fading 80s mural in the gym with a customized slick series of graphics that scream school pride. In the locker room before the big game on a Friday, surround the team with images of what it means to be a part of that elite team. From the fields to the courts to the hallways, Waterboy Graphics elevates boring facilities to a level that are typical to major universities. We can put graphics on anything. From creative concept to installation, Waterboy Graphics' in-house team is on point. So the next time this happens, and now, your hometown Fighting Tigers! This happens. Waterboy Graphics, making school pride cool again. See everything we do at waterboygraphics.com. That's waterboygraphics.com.
Well, Georgetown ties it up on a 6-play, 70-yard drive that takes 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock, capped off by a 53-yard touchdown hookup from Darson Herman to Cade Lachlan. Second time that they have hooked up tonight on a score. 21-21, 7:05 to go here in the Royce Electric third quarter from Birkelbach Field in Georgetown. Wiseman kicks it away. End-over-end kick, fielded, and actually going to go out of bounds. And let's see if Manor decides to do what they did last time and decline the procedural penalty and take the ball on a re-kick.
I would, because they wound up with the ball at the 41 on the last kick like that.
Yeah, they gained 5 yards extra doing it last time.
Man, I'm so confused.
Free kick out of bounds. Manor's chosen a 5-yard penalty.
Yep.
Re-kick.
Manor will make Georgetown re-kick it, so Georgetown will have to tee it up at the 35. At some point, if you're Georgetown, I know you're trying to avoid the return, but you just got to put one down the middle of the field.
Yeah, you would think.
They had to have seen some film on this guy from Manor that's back deep. They must know he's a threat.
Well, like I say, they've moved him up now to he's at the 20. He was at the 25 the last time, and he's the only one back. You've got a whole target of places to kick it.
Georgetown to kick it away once again here. This time they'll kick an end-over-end kick towards the near sideline. That one will bounce. It goes out of bounds. And Manor with another decision to make. I would just keep forcing Georgetown back to kick it.
Why
at
not?
this point.
Free kick out of bounds. 5-yard penalty, free kick.
Yep, Manor has elected the 5-yard penalty and will force Georgetown to re-kick again. So Georgetown's lost 10 yards on the kickoff here, and they've yet to put one in bounds to force Manor to return it.
I think in this chess match you're overthinking things.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to kick it and take your chances playing return coverage here. You're right. Maybe think about squibbing it too.
Yeah, just kick it hard, straight up the middle of the field. Maybe it bounces off of somebody. Maybe they mishandle it.
Well, here's another one. There's time. Looks like he may be lining up to kick it right down the middle. And nope, another end-over-end kick. So this will angle toward the hash mark. It's fielded by Wabuko. Going over the right side, carrying it to the far sideline. He'll push his way out to about the 50-yard line. But, man, Georgetown just gave up about 10 or maybe even 15 yards of field position there, and Manor will have a great starting position in Georgetown territory at the 49.
Brad, that first kick went out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So if they were able to pin them there, you're talking about a 24.
That's a 25-yard difference right
Yeah.
now. 6:58 to go here in the Royce Electric third quarter. 21-21. Georgetown just tied it up on a long touchdown pass. There's a handoff to Brooks dancing around the backfield, and he's not going to go anywhere. The Georgetown defense stuffing him at the line of scrimmage. It was Taylor Beal getting in there with the initial hit.
Boy, Taylor's strong. Just one of those consistents on the defense that you really got to have. His leadership and his capabilities on that defensive side of the ball. It really helped his defense this year.
Split backs for Zardovitz and the Manor offense. Hands it off very late to Brooks. He makes a couple of men miss. Gets out across the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. That was a really, really nice run by Taj Brooks. He'll pick up 6, and it's 3rd and 4.
Nice patient run. Now this defense needs to strap those helmets a little bit tighter and just penetrate deep and stop this third down and force Manor to make a decision on 4th down and wrap these guys up. Just hit him low. You got to tackle him at his ankles.
Halfway through the third quarter, both of the teams have traded touchdowns on their first possession of the half. 21-21 football game here in Georgetown tonight. Zardovitz with 4 wide. Makes the handoff, throws down the right sideline. It is caught and then dropped.
Nice.
Great defensive play out there. The man was open. I believe it was Darian Fletcher, the intended receiver, but credit Trent McConnell for knocking that ball out of his hands after Fletcher had actually had the ball and kind of come down with it.
Nice play, and he timed it well. It looks like since they held on 3rd down, it looks like Manor's going to choose to punt the ball. I don't know that I would necessarily buy into this punt, but so far it looks like it's going to be a punt.
If you're going to fake it, it's a perfect opportunity. You're in Georgetown territory at the 43, but Manor is kicking into the wind here. Right to left, snap is back, the punt is away. Ooh, Georgetown nearly got to it. It's a short punt. Manor picks up the football. The gentleman was running the wrong way. Ball is out, and Georgetown has it at the 47. The Manor player, number 10, James McDonald, picked it up, and he started running to his own end zone.
What was he doing?
It looked like the punter kicked the ball back to the center.
So he kicked it into his back.
He kicked it back into the line of scrimmage, into those players. I don't think he intended to do that. I think it maybe rolled off his foot or didn't get a good – yeah, I don't know. But he did not kick it up there. It's like he kicked it right back to the line of scrimmage, and somebody saw the ball and grabbed it, and Manor started running the wrong way.
He ran the opposite way.
And then he fumbled it, and Georgetown got it. So we're in good shape.
Can you own goal yourself in football?
Yes. It would be a safety.
Okay,
but
fair enough. Ball's at the 47. Georgetown with great field position. This is the second.
And that was number 10, McDonald?
Yeah.
That's
good.
how hard this wind is blowing.
Trips right for Georgetown. Ball between the hash marks. It's a flea flicker. Herman with the
is.
ball, throwing down the field. Got a man. It's Lachlan at the 20, and it's in and out of his hands. Cade Lachlan was open at the 20-yard line on the flea flicker, and he just couldn't pull it in.
What a great play. Perfect throw, and Cade just couldn't haul the pass in. Oh, that was beautiful. He's got to be sick.
Darson Herman laid that one in there beautifully, and Lachlan just couldn't pull it in. Four wideouts now, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Going into motion is 80. Now sets up in the backfield behind Herman. Turn around, hand off to Edey. Up the middle, across the 50, lowering his shoulders. He's out to about the 44 of Manor. A 9-yard gain. Here comes 3rd and 1.
Nice solid run. Now let's go a little tempo. Push this across, get that first down.
I just really like Edey's running. He's always, well, quite a bit. He'll rattle off a 9 to 10 yard run.
You know, he rarely gets stopped for a loss.
Georgetown going with a big set, direct snap to Herman, up the middle. There's no stopping that. He's out to the 40, and it's a first down, a gain of 4.
That's just buffet killers pushing that stack forward, man.
You can see Taylor Bill get excited when he gets to come in and get on that play.
You got the big guys in there pushing forward, and then you have an even bigger guy back there running the football. It's not easy to stop. It's like the old flying wedge offense. Ball at the 41. Georgetown in Manor territory. Herman with a little shoulder fake, looking to go deep. Down the sideline, double coverage for Lachlan. It was incomplete. You had mentioned earlier they may have been setting something up, and that was it.
Yep.
Looking for the shoulder fake on the bubble screen.
Well, that shoulder fake, nobody bought it. 2 guys around him, and Herman was lucky that one wasn't picked off because the guy that had the best shot at it was wearing a white jersey.
Yeah, it was double covered, and that's one where Herman, as he progresses and learns, he'll learn just to keep it and maybe take off. 3 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Ball right between the hash marks. Edey now lines up behind Herman on 2nd and 10. There's a handoff to Edey. Up the middle, breaks a tackle. He's out to the 35 for a gain of 6.
You know, you talked about Darson and that throw right there, but think back to the beginning of the season, we have really seen Darson mature.
He has. That flea flicker earlier in the season, he probably overthrows it.
Oh, yeah.
And there, he just laid it right on the money. He also laid one on the money earlier in the half to Lachlan for the big touchdown.
He is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
3rd and 4 here. Ball at the Manor 35. Man in motion. Instead, a handoff to Edey. Up the middle, big hole. Across the 30 to the 25. Runs over a defender down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 15. It was Akili Todman who got a bit bowled over, but eventually brought down Edey. And now Georgetown's going hyper mode here. Starting to go plaid. There's a handoff to Edey. Up the middle, wrestled down from behind at the 18 by Princely Umamiyelan. And now a late flag comes in. I'm going to get it right sooner or later.
All right.
Should we say Edey is eating up the field?
He's starting to.
After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 14 is the defense.
That's a big penalty.
Yeah, Georgetown's going to get a half the distance to the goal and a first down. Ball will be spotted at the 9-yard line after the personal foul. Dead ball goes against Manor.
I'm looking at the Manor coaches, and they are not happy about that call.
Bill's ball, 9-yard line is first down and goal.
First and goal for Georgetown. Trips to the right. There's a handoff on the sweep play over the right side. Plenty of room. Touchdown, Georgetown. Brandon Bradford with his 2nd rushing score of the night. And Georgetown has their first lead of the ball game with 3:28 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Now the Mustangs are playing from behind. That's what we needed to have. That's what we needed to do right there. That was the intent of that onside kick to start the game, was to get Manor behind that 8 ball at the beginning of the game. Didn't happen, but now we've got them there. Our defense held on their last drive. We got the ball back, go down and score. Exactly where you want to be at this point in this football game.
Extra point due here for Georgetown. It is up. It is good. And your new score with 3:28 to go in the Royce Electric 3rd quarter. The Georgetown Eagles lead the Manor Mustangs 28-21. Back in just a minute with more Georgetown football here on SHN Sports.
Royce Electric is a proud supporter of the Georgetown Eagles. Royce Electric also wishes Kaylee Biondo a great year. Go Eagles! Royce Electric, Harker Heights, Texas. Jimmy Jacobs' reputation for building beautiful custom homes in Central Texas speaks for itself. For over 30 years, he has been behind some of the most successful and sought-after new home developments in Georgetown. Grand Endeavor Homes represents a new era of elegant custom home building. Now joined by his son, Justin Jacobs, Jimmy has launched Grand Endeavor Homes to continue his legacy and reputation for custom homes in Georgetown and the surrounding areas. Visit GrandEndeavorHomes.com for details and directions to the model home.
Well, Georgetown has their first lead of the night, 28-21 your score with 3:28 to go in the third quarter as the Eagles will line up to kick it away. And let's see what they choose to do here, Kelly, after the adventures of last time kicking off. Kick on the way. It's a squibber.
There.
You've been calling for it all night. It'll be fielded at the 21 by number 6, Dayron Butler. He goes around the right side, tackled around the 31 by Andres Longhorn. But that is what you've been calling for all night, just a squib kick down the middle. Let your coverage team get down there, and Georgetown forces Manor into a long field.
And a soccer player can do that very well.
Yeah. It's what you were talking about during the Southwestern game. Blind squirrel finds an acorn every once in a while, and I finally called something right.
A week later, he didn't let me forget that one.
I finally called something right.
28-21, Eagles lead Manor. Man goes into motion for the Mustangs. There's a handoff to the wide receiver, Shea Nabuku, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. A couple of Georgetown Eagles there in the tackle, led by Matt Anderson.
I think Manor is trying to set something up for the fourth quarter with these run, because they haven't really tried many passes in this quarter. But I assume because of the wind, but I think they're going to open that up in the fourth quarter. So if we can hold them here and maybe put one more score on the board, then they'll really be chasing us.
2nd and 10. By the way, that Georgetown touchdown drive, 9 plays, 53 yards, took 2 minutes, 5 seconds off the clock. There's a handoff on the sweep to Wabuku. Excuse me, actually that's Benford, but he is able to pick up just a short gain of about 3. And here comes 3rd and long for Manor. Taylor Beal with the tackle.
Man, you see his speed on that play, just great angle of pursuit, great angle to get to the football in time to make the play, and then just so much speed back there with Taylor.
I want to thank Jack Ward and Cohen Ward for listening in tonight on the broadcast. Say hello to Julie listening in as well, and Maria Reyna. Appreciate you all joining in on the chat and the broadcast tonight. 3rd and 7 for Manor, 2:02 to go in the third. Fake handoff, rolling to the right, Zardovitz looking for a man. He's got one down the sideline, caught around midfield and inbounds. Nope, they're going to say he pushed out of bounds, so incomplete. Really, really close to the sideline. Didn't catch a number on who the intended target was. I think it was 13, Carl Chester.
I believe so, 13. Really good coverage on Georgetown's defense that time.
When he hit the ground, that ball came tumbling out too, so
the incomplete pass, and Manor will have to punt this away, and now an opportunity for Georgetown to really grab control of this football game.
And that's exactly what we need to do. We've got plenty of time to put more points on the board in this quarter.
Kick is away. Georgetown blocks it. Picked up at the 25. Ball still loose. Going to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Georgetown. Saul De La Rosa takes it back, and the Eagles get a huge break.
I told you we'd get one. We got another one. They've been getting so close all night. Finally got that one. Put those points back up on the board. That's what you do, special teams.
They have been close to a block all night long, and finally the Eagles get to it. De La Rosa takes it to the house.
Wow, that was awesome. Great job. It's fun sitting next to the coaches here because you see them jumping up and down and celebrating too. Oh, man, that's a huge special teams play. We've gotten so close. I think we've probably gotten a hand or a finger on a couple of the kicks already, and we got to that one completely.
Extra point on the way for the Eagles. It is up. It is good. And your score with 1:41 to go here in the Royce Electric third quarter. The Georgetown Eagles have taken a commanding 35-21 lead over the Manor Mustangs. Back in just a minute with more Georgetown football on SHN Sports.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home or land in the Georgetown area, call Glenn Patterson Realtor. As a third-generation resident of Williamson County, his knowledge will assure you will receive the best price for your purchase or sell. Don't wait. Contact Glenn today at PattersonPropertiesTX.com. Matt Morrow of Gateway Mortgage Group is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. As one of the country's largest privately held mortgage companies, you can expect smart solutions to meet nearly any mortgage need. From the right products to great rates and technology that powers it all, you'll find it here. Gateway Mortgage Group, your local residential lender. Borrow from Morrow. Visit them online at borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS number 464148.
Georgetown leads it by 14 after the block punt return for a touchdown from Saul De La Rosa, 35-21 the count. And Georgetown will kick it away here with 1:41 to go in the third quarter. Let's see if they decide to squib it one more time after the good coverage last time. Whew, this game was 21-21 just a few minutes ago. And all of a sudden, Georgetown in the last 5 minutes of game time has turned what was earlier in this quarter a 21-14 deficit into a 35-21 lead.
Braden Hargrove with the block there on the punt.
End over end kick, long kick for Georgetown.
Yes,
That's going to
sir.
go through the end zone, and there's a touchback. You've been calling for it all night. Georgetown just kicks it deep this time.
That made me almost as happy as the block punt. The coaches celebrated that too. That was awesome.
Manor will take it over with 1:41 to go here in the third at their own 25-yard line. And the way Georgetown defense has played most of the night, going the length of the field is asking a lot of the Manor offense.
So you say, got him.
Manor sets up 4 wide, 2 on each side. Hand off to Brooks up the middle, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Matt Anderson, linebacker, steps up and makes the play for a short gain of about 2.
You know, you've had a drive by the offense for a touchdown, block kick return for a touchdown. That defense is just jacked. They are sky high. Taylor Beal is going to make a big play here, watch.
This is the first time they've been on the field in 8 minutes on the clock. Maybe about 15 minutes total. So they're rested.
Taylor's been over here eating raw meat, some dead squirrels, a couple of roadkill.
He's not from Louisiana, man.
That doesn't matter, man.
He's headed that way. ULM, you're going to get a good one.
A minute to go in the third quarter. There's a fake handoff, keeping it on the quarterback, keeper up to the 26. No more is Zardovitz. He was tripped up by John Miranda, and here comes 3rd and long, and timeout called on the field. I think we got a flag down maybe.
No, Georgetown called a timeout. They want to get this ball back with a little wind behind them again.
That's smart football.
That is.
You're going to
force
the Mustangs to punt into the wind before the quarter ends. That's a very astute observation, and nice call there, partner.
Yeah, because it's 3rd and 8 now. So you hold them one more time, burn a timeout, get the ball back, and take a shot. I love it.
Hey, while we got a second, let's thank some more of our sponsors real quick. Want to thank our friends at Fox Auto Parts, as WVE Vehicle Electronics offers a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics, including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics, precision engineered to perform. Down to your hometown Fox Auto Parts store here in Georgetown. 3rd and 9 for Manor from their own 26. 52 seconds to go in the third quarter. Back to throw, pass far side on the bubble screen. It's complete. Makes one man miss across the 25, but only about to the 29-yard line goes Nathaniel Jackson. That wasn't Jackson. That was Carl Chester. And Georgetown will force Manor to punt this away. There's 30 seconds on the play clock, 33 on the game clock. So Manor will have to punt into the wind one final time.
Huh. I guess I was wrong on why they called that timeout. They may have seen something they didn't like.
No, I think you're 100% right. They were trying to force the punt into the wind.
Well,
so they have to run a play before the end of the quarter.
Still get the field position.
So you still get the field position with the wind here.
True.
That's what I think they're trying to do here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Manor trying to bleed it as far as they can. There's the snap. Georgetown with the rush. It's kicked right into the Georgetown defender. The punter fields it. He kicked it right into Braden Hargrove, who was on the rush. I don't know that Hargrove really blocked it as so much as the Manor punter just kicked it into his face.
Yeah. It was You don't get an E for that effort.
So the ball spotted, I'm going to put blocked in quotations here on my drive chart because I don't really know how to say that, but that will end the third quarter. The Georgetown Eagles, after going to the half tied at 14, lead it 35-21 with 12 minutes of football to play back at Birkelbach Field for the final stanza. Georgetown leads it here on SHN Sports.
Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, Extraco delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. Tell us your dreams at extracobanks.com. Extraco Banks is a member FDIC. Locally owned by Pam and Al Bartschmid, College Street Cottages is proud to offer vacation rentals in beautiful and historic Georgetown, Texas. With premium amenities and comfortably sized spaces, our cottages provide the best accommodations that Georgetown has to offer. All of the remodeled 1940s cottages include complete use of the entire house and yard, fenced backyard with seating, eating area, and a barbecue grill, convenient parking in front, and detached garages. For more information and to book, visit collegestreetcottages.com.
Georgetown's first play of the fourth quarter was a handoff up the middle to Ryan Eady. He's out to the 15-yard line, 2nd and 6. The Eagles lead it 35-21 as we start the fourth quarter. And man coming in motion. There's a handoff over the left side to Bradford. He's down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Georgetown.
Boy, I wish they'd call that same play again, and this time Darson keep it because the left side of the Manor defense just absolutely collapsed in pursuit, and he just skip into the end zone if he wanted to.
Is that quick and Edie in now for running backs? But a great block by Edie on that last play.
1st and goal, Georgetown from the 8. Edie to the left of Herman. Handoff. Nope, Herman's going to keep it up the middle, through the hole. He is in. The ball is out. The ball is out. It is recovered by Georgetown in the end zone. Touchdown, Georgetown.
Nice. I think Darson had crossed the goal line before that, but doesn't matter. We've recovered. Touchdown Eagles, and this game's getting blown open now.
Yeah, I thought he got in, but they didn't make a motion. Now there's a conversation happening at the goal line. Cade Lachlan recovered the football in the end zone, so I think he's going to get the official credit for the touchdown. On the TD, the extra point on the way. It's up. It is good. And your score with 11:15 to go in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter. The Georgetown Eagles have doubled up the Manor Mustangs. It is 42-21. Back in just a minute with more Georgetown football on SHN Sports.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Georgetown adds to the lead, 42-21 your score after Darson Herman takes it in. They say he fumbled going into the end zone, but Cade Lachlan able to recover. And Georgetown, in a game they trailed 21-14 about halfway through, or with 9 minutes or so to go in the third quarter, have scored 4 unanswered touchdowns. It is 42-21 Eagles.
Now we'll get a boots kick.
There's the high end-over-end kick. It will stay in play. It's fielded at the 31. A fair catch called and made by Darian Fletcher, so Mustangs will take it over right there.
Now the defense can't let this Manor offense score quickly.
I was talking with one of the sideline officials and asking him for some clarification to see if the quarterback actually scored or that it was recovered by Lachlan. He actually said he couldn't see it from where he was at. He was shielded.
So Georgetown penalized. I think they were offsides maybe? And where the flag's thrown, I think it was offsides. I missed the call.
Yes, it was offsides. I'm sorry. I was jibber-jabbering.
No, I appreciate it, Dave, because I missed it myself.
Yeah.
So
that's got to be 6 penalties on our kickoff team?
I think it's at least 4 or 5 for sure. And Manor has elected for the re-kick, so Georgetown's going to have to line it up. They're kicking into the wind, so
squib.
Smart. Yeah, I would squib it here. I wouldn't even mess with that wind right now.
That's what I'm saying. You punch it right down the middle of the field, it may bounce off of somebody.
11:15 to go in the quarter. By the way, that touchdown drive, 4 plays, 19 yards. It lasted just 45 seconds.
We do have
Georgetown leads at 42-21.
If it bounces off of Taj Brooks right there in the middle of the field at the 45-yard line, we really don't want that, though.
As long as it bounces.
Well, here's the run-up and the kick one more time. This is an end-over-end kick, fielded, fair catch called for, and made about the 38. So Manor picks up about 6 or 7 yards of yardage there, and they'll take it at their own 38-yard line here.
No flag on the kick team. Bonus.
Manor to take over. They have struggled to move the ball since the opening touchdown of the second half. 3 straight punts. 2 of them have been blocked. Snap back to pass is Zardovitz.
There's the pick.
Throws a pick. Going the other way. Touchdown, Georgetown, Braden Hargrove.
Big one for Big Braden Hargrove. The whole team wants to run out there to the end zone. They may get a flag.
Pick 6 for Braden Hargrove. And Georgetown is turned this game completely upside down.
Well, this answers a bunch of questions that we had for these last 3 games in the district. And, boy, this team has gelled and really come together tonight, which is exactly what you need at this time for a playoff push.
Starting to see something like you saw last year.
Yes, sir.
This whole get through this part of the schedule where maybe you're a little bit outmanned, and now Georgetown looking like they're going to rip off their 2nd straight win and get some momentum going as the extra point is good. With 11:02 to go in the ball game, the Georgetown Eagles have blown this one completely open. They lead the Manor Mustangs 49-21. Back with more on SHN Sports.
2019 high school football on SHN Sports is proudly presented by Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry is your trusted local jewelry store, family owned and operated since 2013. Whether you desire a one-of-a-kind custom piece or want to enjoy browsing our inventory of both unique and traditional jewelry and watches, stop by and see us at Georgetown Jewelry. We also specialize in jewelry repair and appraisals. For more information, please visit Georgetown Jewelry, located in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, or online at georgetownjewelry.com.
A pick 6 from Braden Hargrove, and the Georgetown Eagles now lead it 49-21 here in the 4th quarter. 2 touchdowns in less than a minute for Georgetown to start this 4th quarter. Here's the kick. End over end, fielded, fair catch called for and made at the 34. That's where Manor will take over. In fact, Georgetown has scored 4 touchdowns in the last 6 minutes and 31 seconds of gameplay. Woo!
Yeah, it's been some kind of a turnaround in this second half. We had a tight, fun ball game going on, but being a homer call like this is funner.
Well, there's a new quarterback out there for Manor. He's who threw the interception as well. It's Nathaniel Jackson. Fake handoff, throw far side. That might have been backwards. They'll say it's incomplete, though. It was intended for Levante Benford. I didn't have time to realize that Jackson was in there the last play, but he's the one who threw the pick 6 to Hargrove.
It was actually just barely a forward pass, and it went forward about a yard.
2nd and 10 for Manor. Man, oh man, this game turned on a dime.
In
a hurry.
I know, quick.
So, Kelly, do you turn the defense loose?
You do. You tell Taylor Beal to go hunt down a football.
4 wide for Manor. Fake handoff, rolling left, looking to throw. Now tucking, going across the 35 out to the 37-yard line is Nathaniel Jackson. He's able to pick up 3 before being tackled by Taylor Beal.
Nathaniel Jackson on
Who?
the quarterback keeper, 3-yard gain.
3rd and 7 now for the Manor Mustangs. And you look ahead, assuming that the Georgetown Eagles can hold on to this lead. And this is a game that goes a long way. We talked about the opening tonight in the standings, but momentum and confidence-wise, too, as Jackson fires well short of his intended receiver, incomplete to Darian Fletcher. And here comes 4th down.
Manor is discombobulated.
I think they're shell-shocked.
Yeah, they are.
I really think they're shell-shocked right now.
Yeah, because you're in a dogfight. You got a good game going, confident, and then in 7 minutes of this half,
this game was 21-21 with 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It is now 49-21 Georgetown with 10:15 to go in the 4th.
8.5 minutes, and this game is put away.
I don't know that I've seen anything like it. Rush coming. Georgetown's able to kick it away. Manor is. It's fielded at the 35. Fair catch called for by Cade Lachlan, and Georgetown will take over there. I just can't recall a game turning this quickly in a long time, Kelly.
Yeah, it's when you're on this side of it, it's really fun to watch, and the Georgetown kids are just pinning their ears back now and coming at this Manor offense.
Question for Dave is, do you still go for ice cream tonight when it's so cold?
You know it. A blizzard.
Man, we got a bit of a surprise. Rouse is up 15-14 on Conley with 1:37 left in that ball game.
Wow. Lachlan in motion. There's a handoff to Edie up the middle. He's out across the 40 to the 42-yard line and a 7-yard gain. Actually, that's not Edie. That's Zane Quick getting some action back there.
Number 24.
Start running down some scores here in a second. Get you caught up, folks. We've been so engrossed in what's going on here and the quick changes here that kind of forgot there's other action in the area tonight.
Yeah, and Rouse is winless this year.
Leander trails Westwood 21-7 at the half. 3 wide for Georgetown to the right. Ball on the left hash mark. Man goes into motion. Handoff. That looks like it's Quick. He's out across the 45, pushing to the 50, and a hard run for Zane Quick, getting the first down to midfield and an 8-yard gain. Flag down, though, in the backfield.
Hold.
Not a hold. Wow, Manor just got called for throwing a punch. Wilfred Minor out of the football game as he got called for a personal foul, throwing a punch, and he'll head to the showers early.
Wow, that kind of tells you what's going on the Manor side of the football.
Still on the sideline, but he's got to leave, I believe. Being thrown a punch, you're ejected.
Yeah, he does. He's got to
go. Ref said he is disqualified.
Yeah. On the bright side, the young man gets to hit the hot water before everybody else tonight.
Now you really slow things down because you got 9 minutes. You're not in any hurry.
9:10 to go in the ball game. Herman still in the ball. Snap to Quick over the right side. He's got room. Cuts back up to the 30. Makes a man miss. Carrying a defender to the 23. Zane Quick with a 12-yard scamper and another first down. Man, he looks really good out there.
He does, man. Our running game bodes really well because it's young.
Absolutely.
Young.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, the young running backs, and they are really finding their legs now and just running the ball really, really well.
As we look at the score updates, one other score of interest to sports fans in Texas, the Houston Astros lead Washington 4-1 in the top of the 6th. Game 3 of the World Series. Houston really needs a win after dropping the first 2 at home.
Go Stros!
So, Kelly, we say our running game is really good and it's young right now, but our thoughts are with RJ. We miss him out here, and the Eagle Nation misses him as well, and we hope that he's healthy and continues to be healthy. We don't know anything that's going on, but we haven't seen him in the last couple of weeks. So
we saw him.
Our thoughts are with him and his family right now.
We saw him 2 weeks ago, but haven't seen him since.
Right. Yeah, RJ's fun to watch run football.
Zane Quick stays in the backfield. There's another handoff to him up the middle. Big hole across the 20. Runs over a defender inside the 15, down to the 10. Officially at the 9-yard line. Zane Quick. Some fresh legs taking guys out. A 14-yard gain, another first down.
Yeah, he's 6 foot tall, 175-pound senior running back, so it's good to see him get some yards this last year here at Eagle Nation. And, boy, he's had some really spirited runs on these last carries. Just quick, fast, great at letting the blockers move guys out of his path and then just hitting the hole quick.
That's 3 straight first down runs for Zane Quick on this drive. He's got all the yardage so far. Another handoff. Over the right side, cuts back in, flags everywhere, quick is in, touchdown, Georgetown, but I don't know if it's going to stand.
I think both the referees saw the same hold I saw.
Yeah, I think number 8 for Manor got held up a little bit there by number 50.
Yeah, the hold goes against Georgetown, so that'll put the ball back at the 19 as they spot it. Let's run you down the scoreboard real fast as much as we can. Hutto all over Pflugerville, 54-7 in the fourth quarter. Bastrop leads Brenham 23-19 late in the fourth. Good football game there. Vista Ridge up on top of Hendrickson 35-19 halfway through the fourth. Cedar Ridge and Round Rock in a shootout halfway through the fourth, 52-41 there.
Good night.
Woo! We'll keep going here in a second once we get to it. By the way, Gerald on the SHN Network, 23-8 over Academy. That's in the third. You heard part of that game at the half. There's a handoff. Quick takes it. Nope, actually it's faked, and keeping it is Oldorp, who's in the game for Herman. And Oldorp gets down to the 16.
Good to see some of these seniors get some snaps and get ready just in case they're needed down the road.
He is a junior.
He's a junior? That's right.
He is.
That's right. That's right.
Thorndale leads Hearn 41-28. Let's see here. Cedar Creek on the SHN Network in a close one with Elgin, 22-17. That's late in the fourth. Rockdale Trail CHO 17-3 in the third. Oldorp looking to pass, little shoulder fake, now throws a fade to the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown, Georgetown!
Got away with a little bit of a push, but I'll take it.
Oh, my goodness.
Braden.
I thought that was going to be an INT right there because it looked like it was going to be thrown a little short into the wind in the corner there, and he had adjusted and came back to that ball really, really well. Great job.
Braden Wilson comes up with the catch. A 16-yard pass, and Georgetown is starting to pour it on. 6:38 to go in the game.
And that's doing all kinds of confidence for Oldorp, not being in the game for quite some time. That's great for the program.
Extra point is good. Your new score with 6:34 to go in the ball game. The Georgetown Eagles lead Manor 56-21. Back in a minute with more Georgetown football here on SHN Sports.
Central Texas High School football on SHN Sports is made possible by Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company. 3 words describe Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company: simple, reliable, and awesome. We support our community. From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products, Georgetown and Austin Shirt Company helps put your brand on your business. Get started on your project today by getting a quick and easy quote online at GeorgetownShirtCompany.com. If you or your family couldn't work for 6 to 12 months due to a serious illness or major accident, how would that affect you or your family financially? Hi friends, I'm Rob Hipp. I offer products that can help during the tough and unforeseen times. For more information, please call me directly at 512-522-9105. Again, that number is 512-522-9105.
Georgetown to kick it away here after the touchdown pass from Oldorp to Wilson. It is fielded at the 34, going the other way. Levante Benford to the far side, moving left to right. He's got room across the 40 to the 45, out towards midfield. There's a flag down where Georgetown kicked it away, as I think they were offsides again. But
I think they'll take this result.
Yeah, Manor will take the return for sure as they get all the way down to the Georgetown 45. 56-21, the Georgetown Eagles lead with 6:22 to go here in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter. There you have it, offsides.
Who is jumping offsides up there? Can y'all see? I can't tell.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Is it? We don't have a holder that's holding the ball.
It's got to be someone lining up offsides.
That's strange.
6:22 to go as Manor will take over after the 5-yard penalty at the 41 of Georgetown. Their best starting field position of the night by far. Wow, Georgetown has scored 35 unanswered points in this football game. Actually, I take that back, 42 unanswered. There's a snap, throw far side, complete across the 40 and pushed out of bounds inside the 37 or so. Let's see who caught it.
4-yard gain on the play.
It'll be second down for Manor, though. About 6 to go.
Guys, I'm seeing some fresh numbers in there for our defense.
Yeah,
Well, this is where you tell those defenders your corners go 8 and 10 yards off the ball and don't let anybody pass you, and your safeties are lined up 20 yards off the ball and don't let anybody get past you.
There's a snap. It's to Hill, who's in at quarterback now, and a throw to the far sideline, complete. Excuse me, a handoff, rather. Now it's across the 30. Catch a number. There's a bunch of backups in now, folks, so apologies. Trying to figure everything out. Sean Ayala with a catch. So it was a quick little throw. It's a first down for Manor. Ball down at the 29-yard line. Manor in Georgetown territory. 6 minutes to go in the game. There's a handoff up the middle across the 35. Brooks with it at the 20. He falls forward to the 19, and that'll be a first down for Manor as Taj Brooks continues to run hard. I really like him as a running back, Kelly.
Yeah, and you saw his strength because he took a hit shortly after he got past the line of scrimmage, was able to stay on his feet and stumble forward, get some extra yards.
He's been a really impressive back tonight.
Big, strong kid.
Fake handoff, shoulder fake, now throw far sideline. That is complete. Ball was thrown on a rope into a tight window by Matthew Hill, the backup quarterback.
Kelly, to follow up that last conversation about Taj Brook, he just reminds me a lot like Ricky Williams. It's just strong, twist, turns around, and he'll rumble backwards, just running backwards.
Yeah, and he's got patience.
Yeah.
Really patient runner.
9-yard gain on that play, by the way. 2nd and 1 now for the Mustangs. Long time getting this play ready to go as Matthew Hill stands back there. He will drop back to pass. Throw near side. It is caught on a slant route. Touchdown, Manor, as Carl Chester pulls it in from 10 yards out, and the Mustangs stop the bleeding as Georgetown's 42 unanswered points are no longer unanswered.
Wide open. Wide open.
Well, that's that second-team defense getting in there.
And that took some time off the clock, which is what you want now, I would suspect, which last week we thought we were going to see a bunch of runs in the fourth quarter and didn't. So I'm hoping we see a bunch of runs, and let's get this game done, get out of here.
I'll tell you, too, Matthew Hill, he's the backup QB, has the extra point on the way and good. Manu scored 5:17 to go in the ball game. Georgetown leads at 56-28. I want to finish my thought here real quick. Matthew Hill, he's got a nice little arm. He threw a couple of tight window passes and some strings out there.
Yeah, that one that he threw out to the left side I thought was going to be intercepted or at least knocked down by the defender, but he was able to throw it right past him. It was a great pass right into, like you said, that tiny little window that was there.
Folks, let's step aside one final time. Let you hear from our sponsors. Back with the end of the rest of the game here in just a minute. This is Georgetown Football on SHN Sports.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a proud supporter of Central Texas high school football. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based, nonprofit 501c3 Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, please visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Well, Georgetown will set up as Manor tries the onside kick here with 5:17 to go in the ball game. Manor kicking left to right. They will set this thing up on the near hash mark. And looks like they're going to aim it to the far side. Georgetown with the hands team on. 56-28 your score after the Manor touchdown. That went off a Georgetown player, and then Cade Lachlan wisely falls on the loose ball at the Georgetown 36.
That's what they kicked it hard and low at somebody and let it bounce around, and whoever it was that ultimately decided to put points on these footballs whenever the game was first made needs special commendation for that, because it adds some fun to the game.
Well, and on a cold night like that, a hard ground ball, it's tough to defend and tough to make sure you get your hands on it.
Yeah.
Trying to get you some more score updates as we go along here tonight. Burnett leads Liberty Hills come back, rather. They lead Burnett 31-28.
Wow.
8:25 to go in the fourth quarter there.
Right there.
Yeah, it is. Lake Travis all over Del Valle 45-14 late in the third. That Del Valle team, they're pretty good. Lake Travis handling them easily tonight. Oldorp fakes the handoff and keeps it himself and loses a yard on the play back to the 35.
Run, clock. Run.
Lampasas shutting out Taylor 56-0 in the fourth. LBJ crushing Lanier 59-0 tonight, halfway through the fourth there. McCallum and the team formerly known as Reagan, now Northeast Early College Prep there in a dogfight 10-6 in the fourth quarter. Dripping Springs and Seguin, a big game over in 5A Division I District 12, the opposite district of District 11 here when you get to the playoff matchups. Dripping Springs handling Seguin tonight 45-20. Both of those teams come into the game undefeated in district play. There's a fake handoff. Oldorp keeps it, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And man, Zane Quick took a hit in the backfield.
He got blasted. At least he can say he got blasted by a D1 recruit.
Woo. Temple all over Waco 50-6. Austin leads Bowie 21-13. That's in the fourth quarter. Westlake destroying Hayes tonight 65-7 in the third. Copperas Cove and Harker Heights in a good one 21-16 late in the fourth there. Belton and Ellison 14-12. That game almost complete. 7 seconds left. We'll give you some other scores as we go. Snap back, Oldorp to pass. Now rushing up the middle. Gets across the 40 and spins down at the 42. So it'll be fourth down for Georgetown. Yesterday, McNeil beat Stony Point 38-28. Midway over Shoemaker 35-15. Crockett and Travis were postponed due to the weather. Anderson topped Lehman 34-20. Weiss in Eastview had to be completed earlier today, and Weiss picked up a 14-7 win. Hutto topped Pflugerville 54-7 earlier today. Glenn and Marble Falls are final 35-22. Glenn picks up the victory. Rouse gets their first win of the season. They beat Connolly 15-14. Big win, and that shakes up the standings and everything in this district as the low snap to Georgetown. Kick is away on the punt into the wind, and it just goes out of bounds about the 43. You look at that Rouse and Connolly score. Connolly was still very much in it as far as maybe getting that final playoff spot. This loss that Manor takes, it gives them a little breathing room now potentially as you look at the final few weeks.
It does because, you look at Rouse, you look at Connolly, and you're thinking Connolly's going to go in there and probably win that game relatively easy, but it's like we said earlier in the game, that's why you kick the ball off, play the game.
Big win for the Rouse Raiders. Congratulations to them tonight. They've had a rough season, played a few close games, and finally get a victory tonight on the road at the field. There's a fake handoff, rolling right and throwing it away. Finally was Matthew Hill, the backup quarterback, and just got it across the line of scrimmage. Still could have been grounding. I didn't see anybody out there. Instead, it's second down.
You like to say with this game, David, we have not had those self-inflicted wounds that have just haunted us in previous games in the season. We haven't had the pre-snap penalties and the silly penalties that have cost us yardage on plays where we've gained good. So this team has started to come together now. They really look good tonight.
Right, just the one personal foul with Matt Anderson, a hands to the face, and then the offsides on the kickoff was strange so many times. But yeah, aside from that, special teams has got a little work to do during this next week.
Snap, Hill looking to pass deep down the left sideline. No one there. Bracketed by about 3 Georgetown defenders was the intended receiver. Here comes third down.
But you're exactly right. They've been well disciplined tonight. They've played a very clean ball game and taken advantage of a lot of opportunities thrown their way. Literally.
Hey, hats off to all these folks that have shown up in this weather tonight. And Dave down there freezing on the sidelines.
Well, they got to see an exciting ball game. There's been a lot of fun stuff tonight.
56-28, Georgetown leads, 2:45 to go in the ball game. Hill takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Will throw deep. Got a man. It is caught and going to the end zone. Touchdown, Manor Mustangs. I didn't see who came through with it. It was Dayron Butler pulling in the 56-yard reception. Wow.
That's your second team in there, but you still don't like to see somebody get that wide open on those guys back there, and the coach is kind of throwing their hands up in a little frustration next to us. But
you know how it is when you're going down the tollway and you got the wind at your back. That's what that looked like right there. He had all the wind at his back as he was running. He was picking up speed as he was going.
Dayron Butler pulls in a 56-yard pass from Backup quarterback Matthew Hill has now got 2 touchdown passes here in the fourth quarter since coming in. Georgetown looked like they're coming for it. They're able to get back on side. The extra point is good. And your score now with 2:33 to go in the ball game. The Georgetown Eagles have their lead cut a bit more. It's 56-35.
Kind of surprised we haven't seen an extra point missed.
Yeah, with this much wind, you would have think somebody would have missed one.
We've missed several this season, but number 16 is swinging that leg like he's an old pro kicking the ball on those extra points, and we have neither team has missed an extra point tonight. Kind of surprised by that.
Well, we start looking at ahead for Georgetown to next week. The Eagles will be on the road. They take on a Rouse team that coming into tonight you might have said, well, that's a relatively easy victory for Georgetown, but now Rouse, they just took down Connolly, got some momentum behind them. Remember, Rouse played this Manor team to a 2-point game just a couple of weeks ago. That game at AC Bible Stadium on Halloween night, this coming Thursday, looks a little bit tougher now.
Yeah, it does, and I'm sitting here looking at the standings right now. That Connolly loss, man, they would have to have a ton of help.
It pretty much leaves Pflugerville as the only other team out there that could maybe catch Manor here. But Manor's got the head-to-head against Pflugerville already.
Maybe we can ask Galen the last time we were victorious at AC Bible Stadium, because I don't recall. It's been a long time.
Well, here's the onside kick again for Manor. Now Sanchez puts it through. It'll be fielded by Georgetown at the 45. Eagles will take over there. I think, just doing my quick off the top of my head standings here, Kelly, that Manor has locked up a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're 3 and after this game, if they do end up falling, they'll be 3-1.
They'll be 3-1, but I think Pflugerville lost tonight. Or
yeah,
Pflugerville's got a bye this week, right?
They've still got Hutto and.
But Pflugerville's 1-3 with a bye this week, so with 2 games to go, Manor has already gotten the head-to-head against Pflugerville. Both teams could finish 3-3, meaning Manor has the tiebreak.
So it's good. Cedar Park will now be is 4-0 in district. Manor will be 3-1,
along with Hutto.
Along with Hutto, who's 3-1, and then we're 2-2. Conley will be 1-4. Pflugerville's
1-3, but they didn't play this week.
Right,
yeah.
And then Rouse is 1-3.
There's a keeper by Oldorp over the left side, and Oldorp's down to the 45 of Manor, so he picks up 10 and a first down.
Stayed in bounds, was able to stay in bounds. Got shoved real hard, but didn't get shoved all the way to the sideline. So boy, I tell you what.
So what you're saying, does this kind of secure our playoffs?
No. Georgetown's not secure because this is just the second win in district for Georgetown. Remember, Manor still has Cedar Park and Hutto ahead of them, but they've won 5 in a row coming into tonight. However, Georgetown controls their own destiny for the 3 seed after this victory tonight.
Okay.
That is where we are now. And Manor, I believe, has pretty much locked up the 4 as Oldorp will go around right in. He's across the 45 down to the 42. Now, that doesn't mean Manor is going to finish in the 4 spot. Georgetown could still fall. There could be changes there. Manor could go as high as 3. They won't go 1 or 2 unless they upset Hutto and Cedar Park.
Right.
Because they still have those 2 teams ahead of them over the next 2 weeks.
So if my math is correct, if Georgetown wins next week, they'll lock up a playoff spot, and it'll just determine 3rd or 4th.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. So, that's what it is.
Georgetown needs a win in their last 2 to lock up a spot.
One of the last 2.
But if they win out, Georgetown holds the 3 seed.
Right.
Because they'll have the head-to-head over Manor. There's a handoff over the right side. Going down the sideline, Isaiah Fillmore. First time we've seen him tonight on the end around. And he'll get down to the 29. Now, the one thing we've left out, you could have some upsets. Georgetown could theoretically fall to the 4 if Cedar Park and Hutto, especially Hutto, comes up with a couple of upsets and drops a couple of more games here in district. Unlikely with the way they played this year. Most likely, and I think we're just being honest here as we're down less to a minute to go in the game, it's probably going to be Cedar Park 1, Hutto 2, and then really, if things hold and Georgetown can win the last 2, Georgetown in that 3 seed for the 2nd year in a row.
Well, and Conley could really throw a loop into this.
Completely.
If they can beat Georgetown, man, it's going to come down to coin flips and rock, paper, scissors and whatever it takes in all these tiebreaker situations.
Handoff up the middle to Zane Quick, by the way, for a gain of 6.
Brad, what was the score for the Manor versus Rouse game?
final score, Manor Rouse was 20-18. Rouse lost by 2 in that ball game. And that's the thing. Georgetown doesn't have an easy road ahead of them.
No.
They got a Rouse team that just won tonight and played Manor recently to a 2-point game, and then Connolly for the final week of the season. Another handoff to Quick up the middle, through the hole. Ball's on the ground, and I think Manor came up with it. We'll see. Fight for the football between Quick and a Manor defender, and they will say Quick has it. 13 seconds to go in the game. Clock is paused while we reset the play.
And Connolly is a much improved ball club from last year.
Absolutely. Well, remember, halftime last year, it was a driving rainstorm. It was cold, but Connolly had the lead at the half over Georgetown at the field.
Yes.
David shivers every time we talk about that game.
We're down to 10 seconds to go in the ball game. It is Georgetown's football. And the clock will wind, and that should do it, as the Georgetown Eagles come away with a big victory tonight over the Manor Mustangs. Your final score as the horn blows, 56-35. Georgetown victorious on this cold and windy Friday night in Central Texas.
What a game. I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that.
Let's keep an eye on these handshakes here, fellas.
This was a game, folks, if you're just joining us.
Passion down here on this field right now.
There was a game. This is a game, by the way, folks, if you're just joining us. Manor had a 21-14 lead with 8:45 to go in the third quarter. At that point, Georgetown ripped off 42 straight points, including 4 touchdowns in a 6.5-minute span that just blew this game completely open. And the Georgetown Eagles pick up a big win tonight over the Manor Mustangs, and like we said, kind of control their own destiny now as you start looking at playoff seeding. And Georgetown, 1 win away most likely from locking a spot up, folks, and 2 wins away in their final 2 games of getting at least, it looks like, the 3 seed in the playoffs. Go ahead, bud.
Coach, what an exciting game. Hats off to your defense. They only allowed Georgetown, your first team defense, only allowed Manor in the end zone twice. And then the whole team took advantage of so many opportunities, a little work on special teams. But give us your thoughts on tonight's great victory.
Man, I think our defense just played incredible. You know, I told them at halftime, I said, here's what I want. I said, I want 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns will win it. And we ended up getting 3 in both quarters there in the second half. So it was just a great job out of our whole team, our offense coming on and playing really well there in the second half as well.
Outstanding victory, Coach. We'll see you next week at Bible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gentlemen.
All right, Dave, your final thoughts down there from the field tonight as we start to wrap up the broadcast here on this Eagle 21-point victory.
Well, guys, we always, we worry about Manor, but last year and this year, everything worked out just fine. Your Georgetown team is extremely well coached. They're well disciplined. They do a fine job and take advantage of the opportunities. And hometown crowd, everything went really well for the guys tonight. Looking across the field, that Manor team is a tough program. They're no joke, and I think your hometown Eagles did an outstanding job of taking care of this game, and the coaches did a great job of maintaining this game, and including that nice timeout there before the end of that before the beginning of the fourth quarter. So,
yeah, Dave, it was a really well played game. We appreciate all you do down there on the sidelines, good sir. Stay warm, but go have yourself a victory blizzard, my friend.
Absolutely. I was trying not to get run over. The guys are pretty excited running off the field tonight. So.
All right, Dave. Get up here, get warm up in the booth. We'll see you in just a few minutes, and we'll talk to you next week from AC Bible.
Sounds good.
Well, let's run you down the scoring one more time before we leave the air tonight, just in case you joined us late. This game started in maybe the wackiest way possible. Georgetown trying an opening kickoff onside kick. That ball was about 3 inches away from going the requisite 10 yards. Instead, with a few guys around it for Georgetown, the Eagles just waiting for it to move. It sat down, and Manor alertly picked it up. James McDonald goes 49 yards the other way, and on the opening kickoff, 7-0, Manor with the lead. Georgetown, though, would force a fumble in the first quarter a couple of minutes later and punch it in from a short distance. 23-yard, 4-play drive capped off by a Darson Herman touchdown to Cade Lachlan. First of 2 for them tonight on hookups. Tied it up at 7. Manor, though, would get the lead back halfway through the first quarter. A 10-play, 54-yard drive capped off by a Dayron Butler 4-yard touchdown run. That made it 14-7. Brandon Bradford, though, would cap off an 11-play Georgetown drive on the very next possession, 74 yards. Bradford with a 7-yard TD run on the end around, 14-14, and that was your score at the half as both teams just kind of traded possessions the rest of the way. It was a 21-14 lead, though, for the Manor Mustangs as they come out of the locker room at halftime, taking it right down the field, 9 plays, 60 yards, capped off by a Chaden Wabuku 2-yard touchdown run, making it 21-14, and then the game just flipped in favor of the Georgetown Eagles. As Georgetown would take the very next possession, 70 yards, 6 plays. Darson Herman found Cade Lachlan for the second time. This one a 53-yard strike down the middle, 21-21 there. Manor would punt on their next possession. Georgetown immediately going right back down the field. 9 plays, 53 yards, taking just 2:05 off the clock. And Bradford would have his second touchdown run of the night, this one from 9 yards out. And finally, Georgetown had the lead for the first time in the ball game late in the third quarter. The defense would force a 3-and-out, and then here comes the floodgates as Georgetown blocked the punt. They would pick it up, take it the other way. Saul De La Rosa housing the punt the punt block, 35-21 at that point for Georgetown. Manor again goes with a 3-and-out, and this time you call it a block, but really the punter just kind of kicked it into the face mask of the Georgetown defender. And a few plays later, Georgetown punched it in. Lachlan recovered a fumble by Darson Herman in the end zone. It became a 42-21 game. The very next play from scrimmage, Braden Hargrove gets a pick 6 on the defensive side. It's 49-21, and so Georgetown scores all those points. 35 of them. Remember, they had 14. They scored 35 points in the span of about 7.5 minutes and just completely blow this game open. Georgetown would get one more touchdown on the night, and Oldorp found Wilson for a 16-yard pass when the backups were in. 56-21 at that point. Manor would add a couple of TDs late in the fourth, but they were too far behind to come back tonight. And your final score, the Georgetown Eagles, 56. The Manor Mustangs, 35. Final stats for tonight. Georgetown leads in first downs, 21-11. Rushing yardage, Manor gets 127 on 37 carries. Georgetown just pounding the ball tonight down on the ground, 259 yards on 44 carries. Manor with 108 yards through the air. Georgetown with 152. Total yardage, Georgetown 411 yards tonight to Manor's 235. That is just dominance right there. In the passing game, Georgetown 12 of 25 with 1 interception, also a couple of touchdowns through the air. For Manor, 9 of 20 with 1 interception. They, too, had a couple of touchdowns through the air as well. Manor lost 1 fumble. Georgetown did not. Manor with 5 penalties tonight for 50 yards. Georgetown 7 penalties for 37 yards. About 6 of those penalties, I think, were on kickoffs for Georgetown and costing them just 5 yards at a time on the slow bleed. Punting-wise, Manor averaging just 17.4 yards per punt. Georgetown just 20.2 with this win tonight. I don't know what else you were going to do with that kind of win. Statistics for individuals, Darson Herman rushing 11 carries for 60 yards. Herman also 11 for 20 with 2 touchdowns and a pick. He threw it for 131 yards tonight through the air. Ryan Eady, 15 carries, 67 yards. Bradford, 5 carries, 49 yards. And Zane Quick in relief, 6 carries, 50 yards. Really nice job for Quick tonight. And then on the other side, Taj Brooks rushing 22 carries, 83 yards for the Manor Mustangs. Final thoughts, sir.
That Galen Welnicki abacus is just on fire back here. The legendary Galen Welnicki. Folks, this is the most complete game this season Georgetown has played, and this is a great way to start that push to the playoffs. And if they can continue to build on this victory tonight, you heard it in Coach's voice, you saw it in the players' reactions at the end of the game, they're starting to build something that could make some noise and make a run. How far? Who knows? But you go in next week, you've got 2 more games, you take care of your business, and then it's a whole new season, and who knows what goes on from there.
We talked about it earlier. It's the same kind of run Georgetown went on last year.
Yep.
The same scenario. Win the first 3, lose 3 in a row, and then end out with a 4-game win streak. And then once you get to the playoffs, who knows? Especially they're starting to find themselves, I think. We mentioned the growth of Darson Herman a couple of times tonight on offense. Defensively, the team, especially first team, really, I think, gelling more as the season goes along.
And we saw the exact same thing in Game 8 last year.
Yep.
We saw the team start to gel with guys who had not had a great deal of experience. We started seeing them look like veteran players, and that's what we're seeing out of Darson Herman. and that's what we're seeing out of Ryan Eady and running the football, and this is what we're seeing out of our young receiving core, and then we're seeing good, solid backups. The team is finally healthy again. They've dealt with a lot of injuries this season, and they're healthy again. They're excited and playing good football, and it was really nice and fun to watch tonight.
Well, the victory for Georgetown moves them to 5-3 this year. The Eagles 2-2 in district play. Manor falls to 5-3 overall. Their 5-game winning streak snapped tonight. They fall to 3-1 in district play. The Manor Mustangs next week will host the Hutto Hippos, ranked number 6 in the state. As for Georgetown, they go on the road. Remember, it's Thursday night this week, folks. They will play Halloween, not Thanksgiving. We're not playing Thanksgiving football just yet. It'll be Halloween night, rather, this Thursday, as Georgetown will head over to AC Bible Stadium in Leander and take on Rouse. So make sure that you put that on your calendars and join us Thursday night for a kickoff. That'll wrap it up from Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, Texas tonight. For our entire SHN crew, I want to thank Galen Welnicki on our stats. Jesse Duvall, our special spotter up here tonight, coming in from Lubbock, helping us out. Huge help tonight up here in the booth. Nathan Hyde, our producer, engineer, down on the sidelines, the captain, Dave England. For the LT, Kelly Duvall up here doing color. I'm Brad Tillery saying good night, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate you coming along. Don't forget, check out SHN Sports Football Friday. Flip over to that here on YouTube. Catch the rest of the week or the night as well. Highlights, scores. We'll call in and do some analysis as well of this game. Tomorrow, if you're looking for more football on the SHN Sports Network, we're hitting the road, myself and Nathan and a few others. We're hitting the road at 7:30 in the morning. We'll be in Abilene, Texas for a 1 o'clock kickoff for the Southwestern Pirates. They take on McMurray tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You can join us tomorrow for that one starting at 12:45. One more thought from you.
Don't forget, folks, next Halloween night's a Thursday night game, so by UIL rules, we can have live video feed. If you can't make it down to Bible, if you can't, come down, cheer these Eagles on. But if you can't, we'll have live video for our broadcast right here on SHN Sports on YouTube.
Good point, sir. Well, glad to have everybody for tonight. We appreciate you, and we will talk to you again Thursday night from AC Bible Stadium. One final time this evening, your Georgetown Eagles come up with a big district win over the Manor Mustangs. Your final score, 56-35 in favor of the homestanding Eagles. Talk to you Thursday. Stay safe, everyone.
Good night, folks.